iRadio. Naglilingkod para sa sambayanang Pilipino.
Sikat sa sukat, hari ng QC, hilig ng Pasig, tinututukan ng taga-Bikutan hanggang Alabang. Ito rin malamang, panay-panay, nakikinig ang Pasay. Navotas, Parañaque, Valenzuela, Mandaluyong, Caloocan, Patok sa Marikina, ang hilig na Taguig, atin na rin ang millennials ng Manila. Number 1 sa Laguna, Pampanga, Bulacan, Batangas, Cavite, millennials ng Baluarte.
The millennials choice. Yeah, stop.
This is iRadio Los Angeles.
Ikaw ba ay mayroong mga problema? Madalas malungkot kapag nag-iisa. May alam akong sa'yo ay magpapasaya, at siguradong lungkot may mapapawi nila. Salita ng Diyos binabahagi nila upang tayo ay mapalapit sa Kanya. Kaya naman halika na at manood na sa iRadio, at tiyak ikaw ay liligaya. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, at tiyak problema ay malilimutan mo. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako. Sa iRadio, mga host ay nakakamangha. Talagang full charge, hindi nakakasawa. Mga blessings ay binabahagi nila, kaya si Lord talagang pinagpapala sila. Dito ay talagang talented ang lahat. Mapakanta o sayaw, hindi nagpapaawa. Kaya't halika na sa iRadio, tumutok ka na upang ang araw mo ay maging masaya. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, at tiyak problema ay malilimutan mo. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako.
Sa iRadio, marami kang matututunan. Salita ng Diyos tiyak mong malalaman. Mula sa mga pastor na nagpapugian, pasusani na pwede mong lapitan, Pastor James na talagang maaasahan, Pastor Franz, Pastor Levi at Pastor Norman. 3 brothers na talagang pangmalakasan. Marami pang iba pero ngayon sila'y pagbigyan. Mga host, aba hindi magpapakabo. Brother Ramon ang nag-iisang machong host. Siyempre si Lola Sweetie na lagi pwede. Isa man na ang tawa niyang nakaka-energy. Meron pa Doc Espie na very bright. Balitaktakan niya talagang mapapa-alright. Lahat yan dito lamang mga tatagpuan, kaya wala nang iba pang dapat puntahan.
iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, at tiyak problema ay malilimutan mo. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako.
Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Kailanman di kita ipagpapalit, pagkat sa piling mo ay langit. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Isa pa, mahal na mahal
tunay na napakabuti ng ating Diyos ngayong gabi ito. Amen? So, purihin ang Diyos at sa ating pagpapatuloy sa ating programang ito.
Alright, purihin ang
My
Panginoon.
hiding place.
Thank you, Pastor Francis Ryan Coronel po ng My Hiding Place TV. Thank you so much. Good morning, Metro Manila. At buong Pilipinas. Good morning, magandang gabi Los Angeles. Ito po ang iRadio, araw po ng Monday, June 28, 2021.
Wala kang mic. Ayan. Ayan. May mic na wala. Ayan. May mic na ako. Ayan. Kasi hindi ko marinig boses ko eh.
Grabe. Talagang gusto niyang nangingibabaw yung boses niya.
Wala
Oh.
akong mic eh. Oh, di ba?
Kaupis.
Oh.
Kanya na naman tayo. Grabe ng ganyan.
Anong problema mo? Sabihin mo, Jacket. Sabihin mo, Jacket. What's your problem? Ha?
Yo.
What's your problem?
Yo.
Me?
Aray ko.
Really, ha?
Ay.
Nauuna yung suntok ko.
Bumati ka na nga. Kaumpis na pala. Walang araw niya ako
Maganda.
tatamaan talaga rito.
Magandang morning at syempre, maganda
Kapal
po tayo ngayon. May reklamo?
Wala, yung
Akala ko may
camera.
reklamo.
Ganda yung camera.
Syempre, di ba? Look at my color. Di ba? Masyadong summer. Summer look. Hindi pa ako nakakapagpagupit eh.
Ayun na.
Ayan na. Ayan, tumatakbo na siya. Aba, naka-pink. Ayan na. Babae siya ngayon. Ang pogi.
Wala akong
Ayan na. Ba't ka naligo? Sayang.
Sayang amoy mo. Amoy
Ayan,
pasyente.
kuha ka na ng sopa.
Oo.
Ayan, yan. Upo ka. Ayan.
Hi!
Ayan.
Oh my gosh,
Ayan.
I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. This is our Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excited na ba the contestants? Are they all present?
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Only two.
Okay, so the judgment
Only three.
The judgment day will start at 7:30, okay? The first judge and the second judge at around 8.
7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We will call them, right?
After
Yeah.
the roll call. Oh.
the first judge is Poking Dollars, so we have to
Is
practice.
the girl?
Yeah,
You sexy?
yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah, woo, come
Give
on.
it to me.
No. I said, read my lips.
And the second
Read my
one
lips
is
now.
like a cat. Meow.
Meow.
Meow. The second one can speak English Tagalog, so
okay,
we're more
okay.
comfortable.
Di ba pogi naman
Of
yun?
course.
Akin naman yun.
Andito na pala si Norman.
Yeah.
My kumpare. Hi, how are you?
Kumpare. Okay. Ano bang ginagawa?
Hi, Rejoice.
Magbalitaktakan na tayo.
Muna tayo
Did you say hi to
magpatumpik-tumpik
everybody?
ba?
Not yet.
Okay.
Ito na, umpisa na natin. Rakraka na po tayo mamaya. Umpisa na natin sa unang letra.
Bingo!
Hey! Hello! Eric, knock. Chiki Chan!
Yes, yan.
Focus ba? Ayan na si Virginia Lino Galicia. Eka Velasco. Ayan, okay na siya. Of course, si Nanay Filipinas Salva, fresh from vacation. Ayan, si Nanay Lina Flor Azureno Salas. Condolences po, Nanay, sa pamangkin niyo. Okay. And of course, Sister Nelda De Castro. De Castro Valdez. Of course, my sister, Garazaida Agustin. Ayan, magandang buhay. China Pearl Pereira. Bilisan natin. Evelyn Alejandro. Ayan, yung prayer for
Hi
the
to
unborn
Evelyn.
child
Good
niya
morning
pala.
to you too.
Ayan, of course, Rejoice! Siyempre, nandyan si Nanay Dolor. I like your top.
Thank you, katatanggal ko lang yung tag price.
Kukunin ko sana kung luma na.
Hindi nga, 3 taon na to, pero ngayon ko lang tinanggal. Hinanda ko for this
Sana
talaga.
hindi mo na lang nakita, binigyan ko sa si Nanay Dolor. Nanay Dolor Cristobal. Woohoo! Ayan. Si Tess Salas Lazar. Kay Cabrera. Yeah. Kinaman.
Sorry.
That
Dapat.
is Christopher. Okay, si Mian.
Let's ball together!
Let's move in.
Hindi siya mo tayo.
Aga na.
Yung sa bilog, dapat. Yung sa bilog, Parang siya.
Ayan. Hello kay H.T. Galvez from Anchorage, Alaska.
Ay, Mami Miami, Pilipinas. Hello po rin. Miss you too.
GML. And of course, getting Naya Valdez. And Glenda May.
Ang glanda mo. Yan.
Nakakatawa yung sinabi ni Lorna. Kinabahan daw siya nung nakita ko. Feeling niya kasali siya. Sali na rin kasi.
Okay, sino pa? Si Glenda May, andyan din si Jason Barote Xavier. Bago siya. Jason Barote Xavier. And of course, ang kumpare mo si Pastor Norma Laurence.
Ay, kumpare.
Ayan. Okay, yeah. Unex Arturo. Unex Leticia Cruz. Ayan. Ika, good morning to all avid fans of iRadio. How are you, Doc Espie? Ayan, anak ni Lorna yan. Ayan. Nose bleeding yan. Uy, grabe naman. Tite,
Nag-aamok eh.
wala na manunood. Lahat na, patay na. Sira ulo ka.
Ay, ubos na. Nakakaalala tuloy ako ng barbecue.
Ayan. Woo! Alright, chichu.
Awanin.
Miss ko na yung dance now na natin.
Bakit wala na sa'yo?
Ay, may pinadala si Caris na just in case daw gusto niya sumayaw. Pinadala ko sa'yo
Kailan?
Kanina.
Wala.
Nakikinig. Mamaya papadala ko uli sa'yo.
Ano yung parang swing or
Ginawa niyang
ballroom?
mix.
Ah,
Para hindi tayo mano.
hey, good.
Tapos na?
Oy, by the way,
Goles Jam, magandang morning.
pasingit naman.
Sige.
Wanna say thank you sa gumawa nung poster. I just saw it today.
Ayun
Yeah.
lang.
Ay, kahapon yata. In-screenshot ko lang to include do sa
Si Gian.
si Gian ba?
Gian.
Sayang di mo napadala sa tamang
Oo, saan ba
hindi
niya
ko
pinadala?
natanggap. Ewan ko, hindi ko natanggap eh.
Oo,
Nakita
sabi
ko
niya.
lang sa iRadio naman.
Pinadala niya nga daw.
Ang daming talent here.
Very
Right?
plenty.
I know, I don't need to search around.
Yeah, sinabi mo pa. Ayan, bagay na bagay kay Doc Espie ang kanyang getup. Sabi ni Ika. Di ba?
Ngayon ko lang sinuha 3 years na to sa aparador ko.
3 years na.
Hinintay ko talaga tong okasyon na to.
Ayan! Paano yung sa pambabae? Meron ka bang pang
Marami
5 years
akong 3
yan?
years doon, 5 years yan.
Mamaya, bakbakan na tayo. Bakbakan.
Nancy Alejandro! Hello!
Pero ang konti ng contestants ng mga lalaki.
Sa babae, marami yan.
Yeah, bakit kaya gano'n ang mga lalaki, mga duwag?
Ay, naku!
Hindi, alam mo kasi kukunti
Ano kayo, ha? Ano kayo?
Endangered species na kami.
Kasi nga, wala kayong kwentang i-reserve.
Ayan.
I-preserve pala.
Kukunti na lang mga katulad namin.
Kasi nga, wala kayong
Ayan,
katuturan
sabi ni
i-preserve.
Caris, Doc Espie,
Ah.
pinadalan, ginawan kaya kita ng swing music mix mo para makasayaw ka anytime.
Ooh!
Para hindi makapiright.
Sino gumawa?
Si Caris, padala
Uy,
ko
thank
sa
you!
isip yan.
Sobrang touch kami here sa mga tulong nyo. Grabe, I can't believe it. What started as just parang Ramon grew up like this.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
praise God. Ayan, pinadala ko na si Te.
Unbelievable.
Siyempre, etong gumawa niya. Si Caris
Talaga?
din.
Wow.
Ay, radio. Narinig.
Oh my gosh, oo nga.
Narinig mo?
iRadio.
Ito ba yan?
Karimpas ko.
Ay, siya yan. Ayan, sino pa?
Karimpas ko.
Ay, ang Mina daw ng signal dun sa nagdadialysis si Nanay Pilipinas. Ingat po kayo dyan. IRadio.
Wala akong access.
Wala ka access? Walang access, hindi makapasok, Karis. Sabihin mo kay Mark ipadala sa regular. Na kahit ako hindi ko mabuksan kanina eh. Padala mo yung hindi mabuksan ni Ramon. Okay? Okay, Faye Cabrera. Wapa ni Idol. Okay. Nancy Alejandro. Ayan. Sabi niya, hi iRadio, Elna. Especially sa iyo, Doc Espie.
Thank you. Hi ka rin.
Ayan. Hello, Pogi at magandang Doc Espie. Ayan.
Tama ang kanyang description.
Hindi, maganda daw eh. Maganda.
Ay, bisexual.
Ayan. So, okay na sila. Natatawagan natin sila yung mga...
Ayan. Pinag-usapan.
Hindi namin magawa dito. Dito sa cellphone kaya. Yung maraming dito hindi pa eh.
Pero papasok sila doon.
Subukan natin mamaya. Subukan natin.
Subukan lang.
Katulad ng ginagawa natin noon.
Ayun, hindi. Lalabas yung mga judge.
Sinasabi mo kasi isa-isa lang.
Yeah. We were planning if we could put all of you like Zoom. So you can see the judge can see you.
Yeah.
Pero
Oo
kung
nga,
hindi, yeah,
Hindi,
we will
mamaya.
try.
Pwede naman natin kahit isa-isa, tatawagin natin sila habang...
Why don't we try it right now?
Mamaya.
Sila lang muna.
Mamaya.
Tawagan mo yung 4 na finalists.
Mamaya. Kalma, relax.
Okay,
I cannot relax.
Nanay Luz Cangarita. Magandang morning po, Nanay. Norbert Francia, Teresa. Marshall Francia, Lydia Marshall. Shout out. Ayan, sino pa?
Thank you,
Hello,
Karis.
Ayan. Wala tayong nakikitang mga taga General Luna. Asan ang mga taga General Luna?
Gusto niyo ba ng now na dance? Dance now na?
Nandiyan si Chino Pearl Pereira, taga General Luna pala yan. Okay. Woo! Taga General Luna nga ba?
Mamaya kaya may chance pang dance now na?
Tingnan natin.
Sige.
Sana.
Or next time. Medyo na busy kasi yung lola nyo.
Dalawa yan, Doc. May kudyan.
2 weeks ako absent,
Hindi ba? Ipadala mo, Karis, yung sa regular. Sabi mo kay Mark, hindi namin ma-open uli eh. Ay, ito na. O, ito. Padala ko na sa'yo. Yan. Dalawa yan. At saka yung Celtic, may dancing, at saka ito.
Eh di ba hina-highlights naman? So natatanggal naman yung mga may copyright.
Hindi ito kasi mix to eh.
Kaya nga, pag nag-play tayo.
Ayan, so okay na yan.
Rosalie Santos Alejo. Hello, Rosalie.
Hi, let's see, Rosalie. Okay, thank you. We got it. Ayan, pinadala ko na sa'yo, City. Okay, Rosalie Santos. Okay, good morning. Ayan. iRadio. Ha.
Doc Espie.
Ayan. Kaya hinahanap ko mga taga General Santos para ipaalam sa kanila na pinadala yung t-shirt na pinangako na 4, then yung susunod yung mga natira sa susunod po. Kaya mamaya, yung mga wala pang t-shirt, please lang sa akin nyo ipadala. Sa akin nyo, yung mga walang t-shirt, yung name, address, yung size ng bawat isa, at saka anong kulay. Black and white lang yung city, Black and white, at saka cellphone number. Yes.
Play nyo yung mga contestant, di ba?
I-play natin.
Yung pinagsama-sama ko na. Meron akong
Si Rose Cristobal.
the 4 contestants present.
Rose Cristobal. Andyan na si Maranata Joy. Pakisabi kina Pastor, email yung 4.
Hello, Karen Maranata.
All white. Saka na lang yung itim. Magpapagano.
Sa program. Maraming hindi makapasok yata. Ayan na. Station ID
Naglilingkod
tayo.
para sa sambayanang Pilipino.
Ang oras po natin. 29 minutos makalipas ang alas 7 ng gabi. Kami po ay live na nagbo-broadcast dito sa Bellflower,
California.
USA. Hello, hello, IRadio, Kuya Mansis and Doc Espie. Hello, Tina Tabernilla. Ayan, and of course, si Gian. Gian, ipadala mo na. Padala mo na sa IRadio.
Si Lorna, inaalaska ko. Inaalaska ko ni Lorna.
Aba, napaka-cute mo po, Lola Sweetie. Naku talaga itong mga apo kong na ito.
Natuwa ka pa, tinawag kang
tumalsik
Lola.
lang. Di ba? Sweet naman.
Sweet na yon. Ibig sabihin, ang tanda mo na.
Sweetie, it doesn't look.
Basta yung ano...
Bastos. Sinong bastos kasi sinabi mo kasi. Ayan, napagalitan ka ng bata. Napagalitan ka ng bata.
Ay, Lorna, sabi niya, kala niya raw hindi bagay ang pink sa mga lalaki.
Ay,
Bakit
nagpipink
daw sa akin bagay?
Nagpipink siya.
Oo, pati nga ano.
Pati yung kanyang kansorsilyo pink.
May pagkaano yan eh. Bakla!
Babae po ako.
Babae siya, hindi siya bading.
Oy, sino una? Ito na naman si Ate Ruby talaga.
Pasensya na kayo
Tawagan
na
mo nga.
viewers.
Teka, hindi kasi siya makapanood. Siti, ba't di ko siya ma-share dito? Di ba, Ruby?
Oh.
Ano ba yan? Tawagan natin.
Ano,
Ruby.
Parang
Hindi,
Ramon.
ano mo na lang.
Anong gagawin ko?
I-ano mo.
hindi yung ano, yung...
I-share mo dyan.
Hindi,
contestants.
dati nakakapanood yung contestant
Oo,
muna.
i-play na namin yung ano, yung 4 na contestants para ma-refresh ang lahat sa mga 4 finalists.
Okay. Tawagin muna natin yung ating mga contestants.
Present na ba lahat ng contestants?
Yes, oo.
Bakit hindi ko siya maano?
Ayan, teka muna. I-ano ko muna rito. Sabay-sabay. Ayan, oo.
Hindi niya alam yung ano.
Ipadala mo yung link. Ipadala mo yung link.
Alright, tawagin na natin itong ating 4 na contestants.
Sino una? Darwin Ibay! Yes!
Could have been if I could have just told you you're my queen. In a world you never knew that I have dreamed. Since in your heart, you're all I ever wanted, but I said goodbye instead. Could have been if after school I admitted, but what I did, I kept it as a secret. You didn't know that love exists. You never knew I'm longing for your kiss. And after years of waiting, I finally found my wish come true. You ask me why I'm always there for you. Shaking, trembling, mumbling words of I love you. Then I felt myself freezing. I found my heart beating when I heard you say that you love me too. It could have been if only I have started long before. We known and even wondered that we are meant for one another. If only love was never left unsaid. If only love was never left unsaid.
Tibay. Lesson number 2, Norman Cuanang.
Could have been if I could just have told you you're my queen. In the world you never knew that I have been. Since in your eye, you're all I've ever wanted, but I said goodbye instead. Could have been if after school admitted, but what I did, I kept it as a secret. You didn't know that love exists. You never knew I'm longing for your kiss. And after years of waiting, I finally found my wish come true. You asked me why I always there for you. Shaking, trembling, mumbling words of I love you. Then I felt myself freezing. I found my heart beating when I heard you say that you love me too. Could have been if I could have started long before. We've known and even wondered that we are meant for one another. If only love was never left unsaid. If only love was never left unsaid.
Contestant number 3, Mark Cristobal.
Could have been if I could have just told you you're my queen. In a world you never knew that I have dreamed. Since in your eye, you're all I ever wanted, but I said goodbye instead. Could have been if after school I admitted, but what I did, I kept it as a secret. You didn't know that love exists. You never knew I'm longing for your kiss. found my wish come true. You ask me, I am always there for you. Shaking, trembling, mumbling words of I love you. Then I felt myself freezing. I found my heart beating when I heard you say you love me too. It could have been if only I have started long before. We've known and even wondered that we are meant for one another. If only love was never left unsaid. If only love was never left unsaid.
Contestant number 4, Caris Cristobal.
Could have been if I could just have told you you're my queen. In a world you never knew that I had dreamed. Since in your heart you're all I ever wanted of, you said goodbye instead. Could have been if after school I admitted, but what I did, I kept it as a secret. You didn't know that love exists. You never knew I'm longing for your kiss. And after a year of waiting, I finally found my wish come true. You asked me why I'm always there for you. Shaking, trembling, mumbling words of I love you. Then I felt myself freezing. I found my heart beating when I heard you say that you love me too. It could have been if only I have started long before. We've known and even wondered that we are meant for one another. If only love was never left unsaid. If only love was never left unsaid.
Ang galing-galing ng mga finalists. Grabe.
Wako say.
Yes.
Ako rin.
Wako
Lahat
say.
sila, bet ko, yan.
So there will be 2 judges, okay? So we will be calling the first judge.
Si, sino?
Yeah, her name is Natasha
Hindi mo muna papakita yung
Slayton. So
Panood na ba niya?
we'll show you a little clip of who she
yung
is.
background niya, no?
Yeah, she's a member of a former band, girl band.
Para masabi niya legit yung ating mga
Yes.
judges.
Okay, so
Anong
let's
pangalan
show a
niya?
little segment. Her name is Natasha Slayton.
Natasha. Oof. Eto na siya. Play na natin.
One in black. That's her.
She's the one in black?
Yes.
She's the one in black.
Yeah. I'm her idol in sing and dance.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, baby!
Okay.
Okay na yan?
Yeah. Okay, she's the
She's
one in
waiting
black.
for her call.
Tuloy pa natin.
Natasha. Patayin mo na.
Yeah, we'll play more later.
Yeah, later.
She's waiting. Judgment Day.
Pwede ba na lang ano yun?
Oh, that's Natasha Slayton.
Natasha Slayton.
Saan mo nakilala ito? Talaga, oh. Ay, at tawagan na nga natin. Wala. Wala.
Huwag ka
Natasha.
masyadong excited.
Ooh, baby. Yeah. Ano? Natasha. Slayton. We're going to call Natasha. Hi, Natasha. Come in. Wala pa.
Okay.
I'm so
Hello,
excited. Oh.
Come on.
Maybe still sleeping, huh?
No, she's waiting.
Huh?
Oh, we can call her. Saan ba siya?
Wala pa eh. Huh? Baka natutulog.
Hindi. She's waiting. She's
There she
texting.
is.
Hey, Natasha, babe!
Oh my
Hi,
God.
Oh my
Natasha.
gosh, I'm so happy to see you again. It's been a while, Natash.
Hi, Natasha.
These are my hosts.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Good.
Oh, our
Thank you.
pleasure.
Welcome to iRadio.
Yes.
Is this your first time joining with the radio broadcast?
With this radio
Oh, she's
broadcast,
more on a TV broadcast all over the world.
Yes.
I've done a lot of radio though.
Natasha has been, the girl band has been popular in Australia, right?
Australia and
all
everywhere.
over.
UK,
Yeah.
South America,
Yes.
Dubai, like you name it.
Dubai. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Wow. And how long you been doing this
Girl band.
girl band group?
Well, I've been singing and dancing since I was really little, and then I started in the girl band about almost 10 years ago, which is crazy.
Okay.
We had a really big tragedy in the group, so that's why we stopped.
Oh, I
but
see.
we're still continuing. We're doing a reunion right now, and I just released a solo song, so I'm still singing and still dancing.
Tell them about that solo song you just
Solo
released.
song.
Love Me Like Me. I love the
I love Me
lyrics,
Like Me.
Natasha. You got my jeans.
I
As you know, Natasha loves to sing and dance.
Oh, wow.
We have one thing in common, right?
I
Sing
could
and
see
dance.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
But the difference
In your
is
video.
the difference is
What?
she does it professionally, right? And I do it unprofessionally.
So Natasha, you're doing this on the like MTV, something like that?
I mean, that's the goal. It's not GRL. My group has been on MTV. I myself, with my solo music, have not been on MTV, but hopefully soon.
Are you banding again? The GRL? Are they gonna?
Yeah, we're doing a reunion right now. So
I
we're working on-
hope you're gonna beat that BTS. You know, you're better than them.
The Korean.
That would be great.
The Korean.
You know them, of course,
K-pop.
right?
The K-pop.
Yeah, I showed them. Were you tuned in earlier? I showed them a segment of your GRL dance in
Yeah,
Las Vegas.
That's the worst, like, little clip.
I know, but I was filming it, right? Yeah, I was the one. That's why. And then there were comments that why is it Natasha is always on the
Because she's the one doing the video. That's
yes.
why.
What?
She was there.
I was
they
the
were
one
singing.
videoing.
Yeah.
I was in Las Vegas at that time. I wish I would have gone to Australia
So
to see you.
that show was on Vegas?
Yes, the
Yes.
one I showed you earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
It reminds me that Pussycat Dolls. Is that?
Yeah, they were same
Pussycat.
director, right? With GRL.
So the person who created my group, GRL, actually created the Pussycat Dolls.
Robin.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I'm right.
Very good. Oh, you know something.
Oh
huh?
yes, of course.
my
I've been
God.
following this girl.
It's
so-
all coming back to
She's
you
been
now.
following a lot of
I
girls.
know.
Oh no, not
And this-
literally.
This is the wife. She's complaining.
Hi, Natasha. So we go now to...
This is we're gonna start with our judgment day, and I'm
Yes.
very honored. We're very honored to have you here
Yeah.
to judge them, and they are looking forward to learn from you.
Are they
And
tuned in too?
Yes, they're now watching us. You're
They're
being
all
watched
watching.
all over the
And they're
the world.
commenting right now. They are saying you're so beautiful like me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the comments.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay, so...
I wrote a bunch of notes. Is it okay if I read?
Yes,
Sure.
yes, no
Sure,
problem.
sure.
So I wanted to start with Darwin.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to go in order of category, and then I'll review like what each individual score is, and then what the total score is.
Yes.
And I'll say why. But I do want to start with saying that I really enjoyed watching everybody's performance. I thought everybody did such a good job, especially at making the songs their own. And when I was calculating scores and thinking about like my notes, I really wanted to be really, really nice and really generous. But then I thought, okay, that's not going to help, So
Yes,
I
that's
got
true.
there's a little bit more critique, but it's coming from a loving place because I think everybody has so much potential and so much talent. So I just want to start by saying that.
Okay.
Yeah. So with Darwin, with tone quality, I thought that his voice was just so silky and smooth and pleasant on the ears. I really loved the sound of your voice, Darwin. You really made the song suit your voice. I loved your choices. So I gave you a 10 for tone quality. Yeah, definitely a 10. I could really hear. What's that noise? Do you guys hear a noise?
Sorry about that. That's the sound effect.
It's my clap. It's multiplying.
I thought someone was grinding coffee beans.
That's clapping. I'm clapping.
The listeners are clapping.
Oh, I love that. Okay. For breath support, I could really hear in your vibrato and the dynamic when you pulled back and went into the softer notes, and then the vibrato was so controlled. The only reason I didn't give you a 10 for breath support and I gave you a 9 was because breath support is so closely interconnected to intonation. And the intonation, even though it was really good overall, there were moments of being slightly under the pitch, and I think that usually has to do with how well you can hear yourself. So usually if you're a little bit flat on some of the notes, it's usually because you hear too much of yourself in the headphones. And then on the pitch it got a little pitchy, or on the bridge it got a little pitchy, and then on the louder notes it got a little pitchy. So I gave an 8 for intonation. Then for volume, overall the volume was at a perfect, really healthy level, but I would have really loved to have an increase in volume, especially at the end during the key modulation. It was a very steady volume the whole time, but then at the end I felt like it really needed to increase, and it actually seemed to get quieter. So overall there was really good volume and really good control, so I gave an 8, but I really would have liked to have heard like a little bit more of, a little increase at the end. Even more excitement. And then dictation, articulation, I could hear every word, very clear, not overly pronounced, got a 10 for that, very good. Rhythm and tempo, I also gave a 10. I mean, I feel like he really nailed it. As a dancer, I'm really sensitive to beats, obviously, and I really felt like Darwin held the tempo perfectly. Like, he felt everything. It was just, he was very in the pocket, so that's not easy. That's like the hardest thing for me to do, so that's amazing. Performance, I really felt the emotions. I really, really felt the emotions. I thought that you sounded so pretty on this song. I would have liked a little bit more of dynamics, and again with like the volume when it comes to the bridge and it comes to the end. I thought there could be a little bit more volume on the end, maybe a few more ad-libs. Nothing super crazy, but something that added a climax, because the song sort of stayed like in the same place the whole time, and I felt like the end, like I really felt like, Darwin, you have so much talent, and I felt like you could have easily taken it to the next level, but you just didn't. You held back, so I would have loved to see that. So for that reason, I gave performance a 7, because I think there was a lot of room to grow in that department, but could have easily done that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Then outfit and physical appearance. Okay, I was a little bit harsh on this one, but I gave a 5. I felt, I know, here's my reason though, here's my reason. So I felt like, you know, he was trying to represent iRadio, and I loved that, so I gave him a little slack. And he looked great, but I felt like it was a little too casual, you know, and if you're going to go casual and you want to be, you know, just like real and raw, that's totally okay. But I think when you're going to be on camera or you're in a competition, you want to sort of say, okay, what's my daily, what do I wear on the daily? And now how can I take that to the next level and sort of create a character as an artist? So if you're going to do casual, that's okay, but you kind of still have to take it to the next level. So I give a 5. That can easily be changed. It has nothing to do with the talent. So yeah, 5 for that. And then, am I going at an okay pace?
Yes, very good.
Okay. And then audience interaction. I felt like your personality really came through a few times, and some of the audience interaction was good, but I'm going to give it 16 out of 20, because I think it was maybe where Darwin placed the camera. I was craving a little bit more eye contact, and I felt like the song was very internal instead of more external toward the audience, but I really think it was just because of the camera placement, because the microphone was here and the camera was over here, and that's really difficult to like sing into the mic and then play to the audience, you know? So it's not really Darwin's fault, but I think, you know, next time maybe place the camera in a different position so you can interact with the audience a little bit more. So the overall score for Darwin was 83.
Wow. 83 points.
Yes. Passing mark.
And I feel like it could have been even more, but because of like the outfits and some of the little, you know, points that got taken off. But there's total potential to be 100 very easily.
You are so detailed, Natasha. I feel like I can... I'm learning from this, and I can join the contest too.
That's why we're discussing.
I'm learning.
Let me know if I'm talking too much.
No, we're learning. Everybody's learning from this, and after this, there will be a lot of review. They're gonna play back this live show. A lot of people will be playing back.
It will be in YouTube.
Yeah, it will be in YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, cool! Fun times. Fun. Okay, so next up was Norman. For tone quality, I thought that Norman's tone and quality was like super silky, super smoky. I really enjoyed, like, there was so much character. I gave a 9 because at the end there was a little bit of nasality that came out. It was only on like the last few lines, and I mean I could have given a 10 easily, but I felt like, okay, what is there that I can critique? So I wanted to give a 9, but very, very beautiful tone quality. For breath support, I gave an 8. I think because he was playing piano, which I absolutely loved, I think that if you incorporate an instrument, it's very hard to sing and play an instrument at the same time. And so when you incorporate an instrument, you risk losing some of the singing ability, which or singing technique, and that I think is pretty standard. So breath support, I think, might have been a little bit compromised because of that. And then some of the ends of the phrases could have been a little bit stronger and more supported. So I heard it mostly at the ends of phrases. So I'm giving an 8 for breath support. For intonation, I'm also giving an 8 because intonation and breath support are so closely connected. Overall, intonation was really good. I mean, I hardly heard any off notes, and that's really hard. It's really hard to like be on pitch the whole time during a live show. It just really is, especially while playing piano. So some of the low notes and also some of the low notes were a little pitchy, and then when the key modulated, I heard like one off note, and that's about it. But overall, it was really good. Volume, I gave a 10. I felt like there was steady dynamic in the volume. It got louder when you got louder when you needed to and quieter when you needed to, and that's also very difficult to do. So, and that also has to do with breath support. But volume 10. Dictation and articulation was also a 10. I heard every word very clearly, but you still kept the integrity of the song. So even though you are articulating so beautifully and so well, you still kept the emotions and the feelings of the song. Rhythm and tempo. Okay, this is where I had to dock a few points. I gave a 5 because this is where, Norman, you fell off a little bit. You picked it up around the middle to the end, but it was a little bit off at the beginning, and I think that's probably to do with the fact that you were singing and playing at the same time. So I'm giving you a 5 because I think that's the area where you need to put in the most work.
Oh, okay.
And then, what else do we have here? Performance. I loved that you played piano. It brought a whole new level to the performance. I'm going to say a 7 because I think there's other things to work on. The other things that I was already talking about sort of played into the performance, whether it was bringing in the piano, the breath support. So I'm giving a 7 for overall performance. Outfit and presentation, 10. You had a piano, a nice outfit. There's nothing really to critique there. I really liked the whole presentation. And then audience contact, I'm giving you a 20 out of 20. Wow. You made great eye contact. It wasn't too much. It seemed genuine. You placed the camera in a great place. You were feeling the song, but you looked up when you needed to. So overall score for Norman is an 80.
Wow, 80.
Yeah. Great job.
Go ahead.
So, Natash,
Yes.
how do you sing and dance and keep your breath support?
Oh my gosh, it's really difficult to sing and dance. You know, for me when I'm dancing, it's twofold because sometimes it actually helps me because my blood is flowing, so I actually end up singing better, but your stamina has to be really good because you can't run out of breath, and then you don't want to like over support, if that, I don't actually know if that's like a term. You just don't want to like push too hard. So I think it's just practice. And then when I'm singing my solo parts, I try not to dance too much. I usually try to like stand still, and then I'll start dancing again, and I just have to make sure I'm not running out of breath when I go back to.
Right.
I'm really watching you closely if it's not a lip sync because you did it so good. You did it so well. You really got it from me.
What? What? Don't tell me you're the teacher.
Espie taught me everything I know.
Oh, see? By the way, I'd like everybody to know that I got my dance move from Natasha.
Wow.
Yeah, I had some dance lessons from her. So now I'm not a macho dancer anymore. I'm a sexy dancer.
You've got all
Thank
the
you for
moves.
everything, dance.
You're welcome.
The audience here are saying they're learning already.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for having me. The next one is Al, right? Al Mark?
Yes.
Yeah. So for tone quality, I felt like there was lots of potential. I thought there was a cool, breathy texture that gave a lot of character, but at the same time, it really worked against you, Al, because it's harder to control super breathy type of character that you put into the voice. That's actually a lot harder to control. But I wanted to give you a 7 because I felt like there was a lot of potential and raw quality, and you could easily get to a 10 with some official training. So I just wanted to put that there. For breath support, I'm going to have to give a 4, and I'm going to explain why. The breath support was really rocky to me. It affected your intonation a lot. It affected your tone quality. I could hear your voice resting in your throat quite a bit. I think your larynx was rising a little bit, and I almost think you were pushing out too much air. So what you were going for in sort of texture and character, it ended up working against you, and I think with a little bit of training, you really could get a 10. So take this, me saying, breath support is a 4. It's not a knock against you or your talent. It's just showing you, the areas you need to work on. Intonation, again, because it's so closely connected with breath support, I'm also going to give you a 4. I think this is the area where you need the most work. And yeah, again, it's just really goes back to the breath. They're very interconnected. Once you get control of that, because pitch is a reflex, once you've got the breath flowing, it'll be much more easy to hit the notes, and it'll just flow a lot better. So 4 for intonation. Volume, I really liked the volume dynamics you provided. Just needs a little bit more control. So kind of, it's all interconnected, right? I gave you a 5. Hold on, I can't read my writing. 1 second. Okay.
Take your time.
She got it from you too, like a prescription writing.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I writing? Like, I have so many thoughts, and then I just scribble it down. Okay, I gave a 5 because, again, it's all connected. The quiet parts were a little bit too quiet, but I actually felt like the loud parts were really nailed. So maybe that's something to explore where you can kind of meet in the middle. Yeah. And then the dictation and articulation was very good. So I gave a 10 for that. I definitely deserved the 10 in that department. Rhythm and tempo was a... Sorry, dog's barking. Hey, quiet.
I thought it's a Ramon sound effect.
They have something to say. Rhythm and tempo is an 8. So rhythm and tempo is affected by the breath and intonation, but overall it was really good. I think the passion and the performance really helped drive the rhythm and make up for what the lack of proper technique was taking away. So lack of proper technique can really mess with rhythm and tempo, but the passion and the emotions that were there just completely took over and made up the difference. So an 8 for rhythm and tempo.
Okay.
Performance was a 10. Absolute 10. I felt like you felt it. You gave passion. You gave some awesome ad-libs. You made the song your own. Absolutely a 10 for performance. You made me feel it as an audience member, and I really felt engaged and connected. And then he was moving, and the movement was on point. So I just enjoyed the performance. And the performance, to me, is almost the most important thing, because if there's no performance and you just sound like a perfect singer, it's like you're not making the audience feel anything, so who cares, you know? So 10 for performance. Outfit and physical appearance and posture, 7. Felt like you looked great. I would have tried to take your outfit up a notch just to make it better for stage, a little less casual, but you looked great. So 7, loved it. And then audience interaction, 20 out of 20. You engaged, you made eye contact, you made us feel it. I loved the way you hugged yourself at the end, but then you gave a little coy look to the camera. It was very endearing. I felt like you're very likable. So 20 out of 20 for that. Overall score, 75.
Okay, 75.
Okay. And last but not the least,
I don't know how to say this name. Is it Cariz?
Cariz.
Oh, did I say it right? That's awesome. Okay, so tone quality, really raspy character, smoky, sultry, very unique. I wanted to give an 8 for potential and character, but we get a little bit rocky here because first and foremost, I wanted to ask him, I don't know if he's in the comments or if he's watching, but I wanted to know if he was a smoker. And he doesn't have to say that he is if he doesn't want to, but I feel like he is. I feel like I could really hear that in his voice, and maybe it's just overuse of the voice, but to me, I think he sounds like a smoker. If he responds in the comments, let me know, because I can say more to that. So breath support, there were moments of control, but overall, I could tell there wasn't much support because of the intonation and the volume. So I could hear like there wasn't a great amount of support there. I'm giving a 3 for breath support, but the end of the song was really nice and it showed potential and what he would be able to do. Intonation was a 2. There really, really, really needs to be work on intonation. However, I will say if he is a smoker and he stopped smoking, then this will solve a lot of those problems. Breath support, intonation, volume, I think a lot of that will just get better on its own. If he's not a smoker, it might just be the technique he's using, or maybe he used to be a smoker. I don't know. But that's what I'm hearing in the voice.
We would like to...
Yeah, he's not a smoker, but...
He's not a smoker.
But he got sick from the COVID.
Before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I had COVID too, and it affected my voice for a few months. And I'm just now recovering, and it's been like 4 months.
You didn't tell me, baby. Why didn't you tell me? You didn't want me to worry, huh?
Yeah, didn't want to scare anybody.
Oh, no.
Okay, that makes sense. COVID can really wreck your
But he's going to recover from this and he's going to get his voice better, right?
Okay,
Like you.
you get it back. So then take these scores as you will then. Go easy on yourself. I could hear a little bit of something bothering the system, so that makes sense. With volume, it ties back into breath support. You had a mic, and I could still barely hear you because you were keeping the notes inside yourself instead of projecting out properly. There were a few moments, though, where the voice started to come out, but then it would go back in again, and I had to give a 3 for volume. But again, with COVID, you can't be too hard on yourself, so take it as you will. Dictation and articulation, because I could barely hear you, I think if you did articulate a bit more, you'd probably naturally get a little bit more volume. I gave a 6 for this. Rhythm and tempo, it's all interconnected. So rhythm and tempo, the lack of proper breath support can really mess up your timing. And I'm going to have to give a 5 for this. But again, COVID, breath support, it's not his fault. So there's that. The performance got better and better as the song went on and he got more comfortable. The beginning and sort of throughout the song, Chris, you seemed very sad to me, and I know the song is a super sad song, but it almost seemed like you didn't want to be there versus it being the emotion of the song. And then at the very beginning, you looked a little bit annoyed and bored, and I don't want you to take this personally because I have the same problem. Sometimes when I film myself singing, like I won't post it because I just look like, I'm like, what is that look on my face? Like that's not the way I was feeling. I don't know why I looked that way. So it's not a personal attack, just something to be aware of. And also it could have been more about the nerves than it was about like how you were feeling, but it did come across on camera. So I'm giving a 6 for performance. Outfit and physical appearance, I'm giving a 10. I loved the outfit. I thought you looked really nice. Your hair looked great. So definitely a 10. I think you deserve that. Of all the things, definitely a 10. And then audience interaction. This kind of ties in with performance a lot, but I like that you made eye contact and I like that you were still living in the song and feeling it. So I'm giving a 15 out of 20, and the overall score for this is going to be a 58.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's not his fault. He was just sick.
Well,
but at least a lot to learn. Yeah. And you gave a very impressive judgment.
I love your details about the judgment.
It's very detailed.
And Ramon will learn a lot. He will start singing now.
I wish I could do that. So, Natasha, do you have any coming up shows on?
No shows, but I did just release a song. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and all the streaming platforms. It's called Love Me Like Me.
What made you write this song, Love Me Like Me? I feel you in the song. Nobody can love me like me.
Yeah, it's a self-love, self-empowering song. I just felt like it was the time in my life where I needed to say these words.
Wow.
But it applies to everybody. Very.
Yeah. I think everyone needs to find that love in themselves and know that it's not an external source of light that we need to find. It all comes from within. So.
Oh, wow.
By the way, how would you rate the composer of the song, the contest piece?
100.
Of course.
Which one?
Of course. She's your friend.
Did you feel the song?
I did. Oh, it was so heartbreaking.
So sad. So the lesson of the song is never to keep love unsaid.
It's always
I
like
never
that.
said. I never told her since we were high school.
Well, you should have done it. So,
Yeah,
there's no
tough
hiding
lesson. Yeah, but it sounds like a classic song to me. It sounds like it's a famous song that's been around for years.
Yeah, because it's composed by a centennial, Your songs is like millennial. Classic song.
She didn't get it.
She didn't get it. I'm old, that's why it sounded like classic.
It sounds like a classic.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Natasha.
Well, Natasha, thank you so much for joining with us.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
And
it's
also,
our pleasure.
It's a big pleasure from our
and
program.
honor.
The honor. Yeah, and we will not forget about this.
And we will be reviewing these comments because we are learning so much. Not only the contestants, but also Ramon,
Yes.
especially.
You can watch this on YouTube.
I thought Ramon was the one who barked earlier. It was your dog. I said, Ramon, stop barking. I told him earlier.
Natasha, you can watch this. You can watch this video on YouTube. Yes,
Okay,
just look for the title and for the date, I should say.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. I will do that.
All
Thank
right.
you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Natasha.
much.
Natasha.
Okay, I'll keep in touch.
Talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Aray, pwede na bang dumugo yung ilong ko?
Pero hindi pa
May
ito ang
band-aid,
final.
may
Nosebleed,
No,
nosebleed.
ang natin,
It's
hindi
not
pa ito-
yet.
it's
Yeah,
not-
there's still
it's not
another
final.
judge. Kaya
We
nga,
still have another
we have
judge.
2 judges and we will tabulate right now. Actually, I don't know anything also of it's also new to me what they're saying. So, we
Alam mo kung sino kamukha niya? Kamukha niya si Kring Kring Gonzales.
Oo, nung kabataan.
Yung
Akala ko ikaw yung tumahol.
di bali ako tumahol. Okay
Ikaw
lang.
maingay, panonoorin niya to sa YouTube.
Sabi ko napanood ko na siya yung Pussycat Dolls eh.
Yeah, sila rin yung yung gumawa ng Pussycat Dolls. Sila yung sumunod. Yeah.
Eto, nung lumabas,
Wish
akala
ko
mo, alam mo, yung mata niya,
I know.
Doc, kamunti kong pulutin, nilaglag.
Ikaw naman, kiji naman eh.
Talagang tumino ka, nakakayan na nun.
Tinutulungan ko eh. Nalaglag. O pinatayan pa ako ng mic kanina.
Baka may Google Translate siya, may maintindihan tayo.
Alam mo ba, pinatayan pa ako ng mic kanina.
Paano?
Pinatayan ka ng mic? Ikaw talaga.
Hindi ko nakikita yan. Naramdaman niya.
Ala, may away po. Isang commercial muna at may patayan dito. Ako nagagawa ng sound control.
Akalo,
Grabe naman to.
Okay, we will be calling the next
Pagkakataon
judge.
ko na
Teka,
makipag-usap
8:16 na.
Nakita ko
Hintay niya na to.
Nakita ko yung mata niya eh. Sabi ko, nalaglag. Gusto kong pulutin eh.
Ito naman. Anong pangalan ng isa? Si
Matt Veloso.
Ako naman
Coming
to,
up next.
Amin naman
So,
to.
after this, we will be tabulating the both
Yes.
scores and then the final judgment. Dun, 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 dun. So, isang lalaki, isang babae, we're fair.
Diyan na kaya siya?
Matt, coming up next. Matt.
So, batiin muna natin man tumatawag kasi. Holylyn Ruprecht.
Matagal yata pumasok eh.
Yeah, at saka nandiyan din si Mary Grace Pionola Constance.
Baka nakalimutan niya na. Wala na tayong
Ha?
Kailangan makahabol sila.
Si Capre San Juan nandiyan din. Si Lois Adatu.
Ayan na siya.
Ayan, there you go.
Oh my gosh, Matt, I was panicking. I thought you're not gonna answer. Oh, I forgot. We're spoken in Tagalog now, huh? He knows how to speak Tagalog. Right, Matt?
Ayan.
Hi,
Hello, Matt.
Welcome to
Kamusta?
iRadio LA. We are actually broadcasting more in the Philippines. It's a lot of
It's worldwide.
audience from the
Worldwide tayo.
Yeah, but more in the Philippines. Yeah.
Ayan ako, sabi, oy, guwapo Papa daw,
So,
Papa?
we see you, you see us, but the audience is seeing you and they're commenting right now. You can't read the comments, right? But they're commenting to us and we'll tell you what they're saying.
Pabatiin mo muna, ikaw naman.
Sorry. Akala ko tayo lang nandito. Yeah. Hi, Matt. Matt is actually, his baby teeth were born and raised in my office. Right, Matt? Sige, Matt, pabati ka naman. You want naman nawagan?
Oo. Welcome sa iRadio.
Welcome. Did you tune in earlier? I told you not to, huh?
Showed up online, so I'm like, oh, okay. Nag-live sa...
Nagcha-chop yata yung ano mo.
It's okay.
Sound.
Ayan, pinahinaan ko na.
Ayan, okay.
Alright.
So, sige nga, talk.
Can you hear
Let's
me?
see.
Am I coming? Would you like me to plug in?
I think you're too close with the mic.
Or, yeah, nagcha-chopping yung mic eh.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So, Matt is very
Where
good.
is he from? Where is he from?
Very good in music too, and he's a musical arranger.
Oh.
He's also arranging my songs.
Oh.
And when I asked her, I mean, when I showed or...
Tagalogin mo na ating mga...
nga pala.
Tapos na yung
Blip. Nakakasanay kasi when you're in
Hello
English
po.
mode.
Ayan.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh my
Much
gosh, gumanda
better
boses
na.
mo.
Ayan.
Can you hear me now?
Thank
Verizon na yata ginamit mo ngayon.
Oops, nawala siya. Ayan.
Ayan.
So,
Hello, Matt. Kamusta ka na? You speak Tagalog, right?
Konti lang.
Bisaya.
Konti lang.
Yeah.
Marunong ka rin magbisaya? Naku, ang hina yata ng signal mo, Matt.
Oo, I think. Naputol.
Naputol. Tawagan natin ulit.
Ayan, we'll try again. Subukan natin uli. Ayan.
Ano
Hello?
nangyari? Naputol.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
I'm so sorry about that. I don't know why my internet.
That's okay. That's fine.
Sabi ni Rejoice.
Kala ko nawala ulit.
Oh,
There
he's
he goes.
gone.
There you go.
Ayan, dami na popogian sa sa Pilipinas.
Ay, Rejoice. Behave ka. Rejoice.
Behave kayo dyan, mga babae. Kanina naman, si Ramon na hindi behave. Nung babae ang
Hindi,
judge.
behave kaya.
Ang lakas kaya ng tahol mo.
Hindi
Ako, ikaw, baka ngumiyaw ka naman ang pogi ng judge ngayon.
Ay, wala.
Okay.
Okay,
Ako na yan eh.
wala nang age
Wala na.
ngayon.
Aba, si Jiro, sabi niya.
Thank you for accepting my invite to judge this.
Oh, anytime. You know, I would want the audience to know Dr. Claudio is a very, very talented music songwriter.
Wow.
Let me tell you guys, as someone who's been a music arranger at least almost the past 10 years, Dr. Claudio structures her songs in a way that it makes it easier for music arrangers like me to actually work on. And when I study her chord structures and her melodies, it's one of those things where it's like, this person is very talented.
Wow, thank you.
And you know, I'm not the most perfect music arranger, but it takes someone with a very skilled musical mind to write stuff like that. So, you know, there was a big reason why I really wanted to arrange for Dr. Claudio kasi, you know, it's just things like that. It's hard to find good people out there who aren't big yet. And, you know, I told Doc, she could probably be a celebrity in the Philippines. She's just not telling us. She's not telling us, you know.
Naku, nakakatuwa naman yung iyong Salamat. Sobra namang nakaka-flatter yung sinabi mo. Thank you.
So, Matt, you're also doing some song compositions, and what type of songs are you doing?
So my musical skills, I guess you could call it, has kind of changed over the years. But more recently, I'm more into arranging for songwriters, and then I've been working on film scores. So I get in contact with film students at Cal State Long Beach, which is pretty local to where I live. And I work with them to write scores for their short films because they enter these films into film festivals.
Okay.
And it wasn't really sort of the career I wanted to get into because I'm a nursing student right now, you know, and that's what I wanted to do. But then after I got into this music thing and wanted to take it more seriously, I felt that this could be a good side gig that I want to grow in, you know. So that's pretty much sort of my background, you know. And I have a lot to improve on. There are millions of really good music producers and music arrangers out there, but you know, I just continue to learn, and I like meeting people like Dr. Claudio.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you also for teaching me how to upload in Spotify. I uploaded some of my songs already.
Oh, really?
I haven't
Okay,
seen
that's cool.
yours.
That's cool.
You've uploaded some of your works too, and
Before, but now that I work sort of exclusively with the people I work with, they tend to want the work sort of low-key for now until they officially release it. Because I've had problems before where I've made instrumentals for singers and vocalists, and then those instrumentals get stolen. And it just becomes this whole copyright issue, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's our problems.
Yeah, it is
Can be
tricky.
easily stolen.
So Matt, you're been like focusing more on the singing career rather than with your nursing.
I hear you have a very nice speaking voice, like in the bedroom. I would like to hear you sing, my.
No, I do not have a singing
Yeah,
voice,
but
you
if you
know.
sing My Way,
What?
his,
Are you
his
serious?
voice is really
Like Sinatra?
No,
Oh, you have a big voice, huh?
But I mean, for now, I'm just gonna finish my nursing school, and then I told Doc that maybe after working here and earning enough, I do want to open a small studio in Bohol because there are a lot of up and coming
Oh, so
artists.
you will meet some of our audience in the Philippines.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
oh yeah. I do want to work with them.
I'm very proud of you, Matt. He used to be so little.
Thank you.
Like 2 years old in the office.
What?
I've seen his baby teeth until
Oh
permanent
yeah.
teeth.
The office
See,
is like the
promote
second
my
mom,
smile,
you know?
your smile, I mean. The Dr.
Oh, yeah.
Espie Claudio smile. Yeah.
All right, Matt, let's proceed now with our judgment. So, what do you think about the contestants?
So the first is Darwin.
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 Yeah.
So I want everyone to know that before I say anything with my scores, I'm coming this. Well, I'm saying that I only want you to grow. I'm not one to sugarcoat you. I'm not one to sort of, I don't say things that you want to hear. I say things that you don't want to hear because it's going to push you to go up and above. That's how I was.
That's how
when
they
I
will
learned
learn.
from it.
Yes.
right.
They will appreciate.
So, but with that being said, I do want to work with these contestants someday. They're very talented,
Wow.
I will admit.
Wow.
Yes.
Surely.
So with Darwin, for tone quality, I will give him a 10. Now here's why. With Darwin, I've worked with singers like him before, and he has a certain tonage that makes he kind of sounds like Martin Rivera a little bit, I had to close my eyes listening to his version because he has this way of sort of controlling his tone quality that if you were to sort of close your eyes and just listen to his voice without the music in the background, you'd be like, oh wow, this is something really good. This is something soothing. This is something I want my ears to wrap around. And again, I don't know. I'm not a singer, but I can tell when a singer is, really up there. And so, Darwin, I would say pretty good on the tone quality. I was impressed. So good job on that. For breath support, I gave him an 8 because there are times where he's good at controlling the way he delivers his voice, but because my ear is so sensitive to singers now, I heard sort of like a little bit of struggle in some parts of the song, and I don't know, maybe if that's because, he was in front of the camera, maybe he was shy, I'm not sure, but his breath support was overall pretty good. If you were with me in person in the studio, I probably would have pushed you more, I would have been like, let's keep doing more takes because I felt like you're not there yet with your breath support. There's just a little instance of like, all right, man, you're almost there. So for that, I gave him an 8. For intonation, I would give him a 10 because, first of all, listening to the way he sang each part of the song, there was no point where I was like, all right, this part of the song he was strong, here he was weak. It was very consistent, and I look for consistency within singers. And so with your intonation, I give you a 10. Suitable volume, a 9. That is one of the key highlights that I took away from this. I wouldn't say most, but I've had some singers that I've worked with before where either the music would overpower them or they'd overpower the music. And I'd tell them, you gotta find that frequency, that little pit pocket where you can just stay in there, lock in, but your voice still shines through. If I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I don't want to sound too big on my terminology, but I gave him a 9 on suitable volume because it was just right. That is the sound I'm looking for. That is what I want to hear. I don't want your voice to be I don't want your voice to pop up too much to the point where it's like I can't hear what's going on in the music, you know. You hug those instrumentals perfectly. So for that, I give you a 9. For diction and articulation, I give you a 7. Now, I know that's a little low, but I give you a 7 because if I'm looking at a singer and if they're pronouncing things, I want them to pronounce it a certain way. For your diction, overall it was good, but maybe I'm being a little bit high standard, you know, because the singers I've worked with before were really good with their diction, but at some parts I felt like some words could have been pronounced in a different way or smoothly, you know, because I wanted each syllable or vowel to sort of connect. I heard tiny pauses in between each word, and again, like I said, you were pretty good, but it's just those little micro details that I tend to pick up. But again, this is to make you better. For rhythm and tempo, I give you a 6. Why? Because as a music producer, I'm big on tempo. You have to stay locked in. Majority of the time, yes, you were locked in. But I found myself thinking, like, okay, he's dragging here a little, or he's rushing here, you know. And if I were to put a metronome in front of you, I would want you to be locked in on the metronome, because you can have the best voice in the world, but if you're not on tempo, immediately I'm gonna be like, something's wrong with the song. Something is wrong with the vocals. A lot of times I pick up on that stuff when I work with singers. You know, they'll be behind or too fast, and I'll be like, listen, the song will not go anywhere if you're even a tad off the tempo. So for rhythm and tempo, a 6. But overall, that is something you can easily improve, you know. I'm sure you know what a metronome is, so have a metronome on you. For performance, I give you a 6 as well, because when I want to see someone perform, I want them to sort of have this attitude that, you know, I'm out of my shell. I don't care what others think. I want them to act like there's no camera in front of them. I want you to act like this is your song. It's like you own this song. The difference between a great singer and a good singer is someone who can perform. If I see someone, let's say with an okay average voice, but they know how to perform, then I'm hooked. If I see someone with a really, really good voice, but they're up there and, you know, just chilling, just staying still, it wouldn't throw me off, but it'd be like, it needs that little spark. So, sort of like if you eat a cake, isn't it better if you have a little bit of frosting on top? That's how I view it. If you have the voice, you're just missing the performance. I need that icing on the cake. That's what I need. Your outfit and physical presentation, I actually gave you an 8 because your posture, the way you stood straight, your eye contact with the camera, though the mic was in a different position and wasn't really close to the camera, I understand why you sort of had to be at an angle, but the fact that your chest was out, it was like you were ready to perform. You weren't afraid of making mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I've had singers that I worked with before where, you know, when they're performing, they're so afraid of making mistakes that they slouch, they're shy, you know, and I don't want that. I want you to have a who cares attitude. Sing your heart out. Who cares if you make mistakes? What's important is we see your confidence, and that is such a game changer. And that is what I appreciated with you, was I would watch your video and be like, you know, he's very confident. You know, I love singers like that. Lastly, Kilig 8. I give it an 8 because after looking at everything that I scored you on, I was thoroughly impressed, and you are someone I do want to work with. So in the near future, I will, possibly send you a message. And, like I said, it's hard to impress me, but at the same time, I was really impressed. So, Darwin, congratulations. And I did do a total. So, Darwin is at a 71.
Wow, 71 for Darwin.
Thank you. That was very impressive, very detailed, and I'm learning from you too, okay? I will now use a metronome when I sing.
And then let's go ahead with
Okay, the next
contestant.
singer, contestant or
Will be
finalist
Norman.
is Norman.
So with Norman, your tone quality, I gave you an 8 because you had high points and low points in your tone quality. There were times where I felt that, well, I wouldn't say it was because you were on the piano, but I would say like you probably had a lot going on in your mind at the time of recording that you felt like you couldn't focus too much on your tone quality. But then again, I don't know what factors went into recording, but again, your tone quality is an 8 because it was there, but your high points were not consistent through the song. When I say high points, I'm talking about when I hear a tone in someone's voice that it's like, oh, that is the best thing I've heard. Like the sound quality wasn't all the way consistent. So I'd say 80% of the time you were consistent with your sound quality. But there's like that 20% where I felt like, you dipped a little, but not too much. It's enough where small improvements will make big changes. So 8 for tone quality. 8 out of 10 for breath support. Again, not much to comment on there other than your breath support was good, but at times, just like I said with tone quality, your breath support just wasn't there all the way. Your tone quality and breath support should come hand in hand. And let's say if someone like me would want you to record in a studio, I would be strict with your breath support, especially if you're recording into a high quality mic, because you can pick up on those things. Whoever will listen to the song will pick up on those things, And for me, I'd come into singers where they breathed too fast, or their breath support just was so harsh on their vocals that I had to stop midway through recording and tell them, like, look, your voice is good, but I can just hear you breathe in all the time like you're struggling, Calm down a little. Let your breath do all the work, right? You want it to be as smooth and silky as possible. So that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. It was there, but you were so close. Intonation, 8 out of 10 as well. Pretty good. I noticed too with your pitches. I listened multiple times to Dr. Claudio's original and yours, and you actually hit most of the pitches correctly. Some singers, because I have a sensitive ear, so some singers I work with, they don't hit the pitches to its accurate level, and I always tell them, like, you're a little too flat, or you're a little too sharp, tone it down a little. You have to sit in that pocket. If I were to draw a graph for you, if there's a middle line, there were times where you were a little high over the line, a little low, but most of the time you were within that line, that mid line, and that's hard. It is hard to have a good intonation, and for that's why I gave you an 8 out of 10, because I know that wasn't easy, man. That was really good. Suitable volume, I gave you a 9. I gave you a 9 because, for the same reason as the previous contestant, you were at the volume that was desirable. If you were a little bit louder than what you were at, I probably would have docked you down a few points. But then again, you have to forgive me because, in the studio for many years, my ears sort of got used to honing in into those little mistakes. I think micro versus macro. So suitable volume, 9 out of 10. Diction and articulation, 9 out of 10 as well. Very good, man. Rhythm and tempo. So an 8. An 8 because you were on tempo, but I'm a musician myself, so when I would see you play on your keyboard, I was sort of like, some parts I feel like he's too focused on the keyboard, other times he's thinking about his own voice. I want you to just, again, I'll say it again, if you have a metronome, practice as many times as you can playing and singing along to a metronome. That is going to lock you in. I know it's hard to sing and play at the same time. That's really a skill that I can't do, But that metronome will just tie those two together, And personally, with the rhythm and tempo, you were good. It's just that I would hear, okay, his vocal was late here, or his piano was a little too early here. And I had to replay your thing maybe 4 or 5 times because I just wanted to see, like, okay, where are the inconsistencies in his tempo? Where is he sort of rushing a little bit? It has to be pinpointed right on the dot when you're trying to get perfect tempo. So for that, 8 out of 10, still very solid, but it's just going to get a little work. Again, remember, metronome. Performance, 10. Here's why I give you a perfect score. Despite everything that I sort of called you out on, I enjoyed it, I sat there watching it and I was like, this is someone I would want to hire to play at my party, or if I'm at a bar, this is who I sort of want to see. If I'm grabbing a beer at the club and someone's playing on stage, I would probably pick you because, you were just out there, man. You were rocking it out. You weren't overthinking things. Sure, things weren't perfect all the time, but you're just there rocking out, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, this guy actually made me smile. This is someone who I enjoyed watching, and this is someone who I definitely, like I said, hire at my party. So pretty good. Your outfit and physical presentation, 10. Not much to say other than you did dress well. I definitely like your keyboard setup. And, it was a pretty organized video. It wasn't like videos on YouTube where you look at it and you can tell, oh, this is a cover. This is a homemade cover. But with yours, I was like, okay, this is to me, this is professional grade. It's not perfect, but there's nothing distracting me. There's nothing making me say, like, the video quality isn't there. There's nothing making me say, like, oh, this is just a home hobby cover. No, this was something I was like, I would want to share this to my friends because it was a well-recorded video. So 10 out of 10 on performance and outfit and physical presentation. Lastly, Kilig, 9. Of course, when it comes to Kilig, I don't have too much of a reasoning for that. I gave you a 9 there because after reviewing all of the things that I scored you on, I felt like this guy is very talented. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But though I felt connected to you, I just still heard those little inconsistencies that I felt like, okay, I'm just here to give you a little boost, man, no hard feelings, but I just felt like there was something missing, like, come on, aim a little higher, you got this. So 9 out of 10, and with that being said, Norman gets a 79. So congratulations, that was very, very good.
All right, 79.
Matt, the last audience, what's that? It's out of 20. So
out of 20?
Yes, the last one is a big score there. So if you can just adjust the last part.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Kilik was out of 20?
Yes.
Oh, my bad,
that
because on the
that makes
scoring
it
sheet it said a
100.
10.
Yeah, a total of
Yeah.
100.
So we go back with
Just Darwin.
Darwin.
Darwin and Norman only. If you can
Okay.
just maybe plus.
So let me fix
You
this
just
real
missed the
quick.
10. We can just add 10.
Yeah. Okay. So with Darwin, my bad, guys.
no
As
no
I
no
I went
problem. Mm.
I went off a sheet that I was given. So I'll just add a 10 to the scores I got then. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So for Darwin, going back to Darwin, 71 plus 10, that is an 81.
Yes. Ooh, a
Now-
close fight.
We will go to Norman, who we just reviewed. So 79. That is an 89.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
So yeah, hopefully what I'm telling everyone out of what I reviewed is only there to help you grow. I just want you to be at a higher level. I want you to chase after that better quality that I look for. And yeah, I've had singers, younger singers who I've worked with, and I tell them these things, and they're like, "Oh, who are you to comment on my vocals? You're not a vocalist." But I'm your third ear. Though I may not be a vocalist, I'm telling you what you should work on because I feel like there's something there. And I don't know who else is going to tell you that, but I'm doing this because I actually care. There are so many vocalists out there who have potential, but I have to push you. I want you to be better than who you think you are. So those are my honest ratings so far. So we'll see with the next two what everyone thinks.
Okay, let's see what the next one is.
I'm so amazed with your sensitive ears. It's like the guitar. If it just turns a little bit, like quarter, like we can hear, right? Like it's off. But others thought it's there on pitch. But then, can you tune the guitar just like by
By ear?
listening?
You mean by ear?
Yeah, you don't use a tuning fork or a guide.
Yeah, I've had to learn how to do that over the years. Before I'd have to sit at the piano, press A, B, C, like all the
Yes.
keys just to tune. But now I can tune it, E, A, D, G
Yes.
by ear.
Me
And
too. I can
it's not
tune a guitar.
perfect, but you can tell if you're in the right tuning if you don't hear so much of a vibration in the frequency. So
Very good.
I've worked on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are moving on to
Mark.
Al.
Mark Al.
Yeah, Mark.
All right. So Mark, tone quality 7. This is because I listen to your voice with my eyes closed. I never like watching singers sing because it somehow changes the way I perceive their sound quality. I had to close my eyes and I listened and I felt like you didn't deliver as much as I expected you to. I felt like, yes, you can sing, but it was just the energy level was at a 60-70%. When I mean energy level, I'm talking about a great singer will expand and just push out their voice so that it sort of hits you in the face. Not harshly, but it hits you in the face in a way that's like, wow, this guy definitely has the power. But with you, you're a little reserved, and like with the other contestants, if you were working with me, I would tell you, expand your voice. I want you to hit me with your voice. I want you to show me that you can sing. Yes, you can technically sing, but can you really, really change my mind about your voice? Can you invoke certain feelings? Can you give me that extra energy that makes me say, wow, this is who I want to sing. This is who I want on my records. This person would have a very good voice live. It's just with these tone quality scores that I've been giving out, It's more about, can you sing with a pitch and with a sound that's powerful? Can't be quiet, has to be powerful. Just throw it in my face. So 7, because you're there, but I didn't feel that energy getting thrown at me, if that makes sense. With breath support, again, 6. There were times in the song, man, where it was like, like I would hear your actual breath, or you wouldn't sustain the things you were singing. I'm looking for that silky smooth consistency that connects each syllable, each word. There were times you just stopped a little too short, or I don't know, maybe it was your breathing technique. Again, I'm not a singer, but I could hear the mic was picking up these little frequencies, and I just heard it. I was like, no, he could have done better. He really should have just held out those notes a little longer, but it was just cut too short. So I think if you were to improve that, things would sound 10, 20 times better, man. And I say this again, you have a voice, but it needs to be, it needs more life, it needs to be more powerful. Intonation, you did hit the notes, you did hit the pitches correctly, but again, because of my sensitive ears, some were flat, some were a little too high. There were parts in the song where I felt that when you were starting to get a little louder and louder, the pitch suffered a bit. I'm not talking drastically, but I'm talking from a point where if I were to, let's say my hand is perfect pitch, right in the middle. I found that the louder you got, it moved a little to the left, a little high, and sometimes it moved down to the right. It needed to stay here in the middle, and you were kind of like this. And so I found myself like, staying there with the pitch. It's hard to have perfect pitch, but that's easily something that many singers can improve. So again, take note on this, because if I see you singing again one of these days, I want to see that improvement. I want you to be right on pitch. For suitable volume, 5. Now I know people are gonna say, why is that so low? Well, 5 because personally, on quiet parts, you got too quiet. On loud parts, it wasn't loud enough. I felt like you were shying away from the mic. Well, I don't know the settings on your mic. I don't know how much it truly picked up. But your voice, the presence of your voice wasn't exactly there. Sure, the recording picked up your voice, but it wasn't super clear to me. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with your technology. I'm sure it was fine. But your voice in itself, it felt too shy, It goes back to the tone quality thing. It's about the power. Throw your voice at me. Show me what you have. Because if you do that, then there's no reason for me to look for the next best singer, if that makes sense. If you grab my attention with your voice, I'm going to give you that attention. I'm going to be like, I will listen to this guy. He has something to say. So I'm going to give him his full attention. That is the type of reaction I want to give to singers, And so with you, with the suitable volume, 5, because I felt like, this is not really karaoke night, man. You got to deliver. You got to deliver, For diction, a 7. Not too bad. I can't really judge anyone's diction because I grew up here. I didn't grow up in the Philippines, and my English isn't perfect either. Neither is my Tagalog. But with diction, just like the others, I just wanted that smooth pronunciation of words. I wanted those vowels, those words to connect within the lyrics. I wanted the sound of the way you pronounce things to make my ear go, wow. That is a voice that's very warm. It's very sweet. It's not a voice that makes you say, oh, it's good, but it sounds hard, or the way he pronounces things, it's like I've had singers where they have a good voice, but when they pronounce words and connect sentences and phrases, it's like, it sounds like you're struggling. You have a good voice, but you're singing the lyrics as if you yourself, you're struggling to actually sing it. So that's what separates a great singer from a good singer. A good singer can sing with the voice, but a great singer can definitely have those articulations within the lyrics that makes me say, oh wow, this is so smooth and silky. Like, if you listen to Celine Dion, when you listen to the way she pronounces lyrics, you don't really hear small pauses between the words. And if you were to listen to an a cappella of just one of her songs, immediately my reactions are like, wow. It's as if she didn't even pause to breathe. It's one smooth vocal track with no mistakes, and the pronunciations are so clear that my ears just pick up on that. It's like, wow, this is what I call good sound quality. So 7 on diction and articulation, 6 out of 10 for rhythm and tempo. With this is, I'm just going to give the same reason I give to the other guys. This goes for everyone who participated in this contest. No one tonight really had perfect tempo, but it takes away from the song when you're a little too fast, a little too slow. If I hear a good song in my head, or if I'm listening to a song that's really good, when I listen to the tempo, there's nothing rushing. Everything should sound like it's locked in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like every instrument, every vocal, everything is so well put together in terms of tempo and accuracy that you don't hear a tiny tick of delay or rushing in the background. It's just everything is one vacuum solid sound that I can just immerse myself in. And I know it sounds like I'm being hard because, I'm sure this contest wasn't all good fun, but the tempo was the biggest factor for everyone that I scored tonight. It's just, I cannot reiterate that enough. You have to practice on tempo. It is the only way that your vocals will sound better. So, rhythm and tempo 6. Performance, I gave you a 10. Reason being is that at the end, when you did the hugging thing, I was like, oh, that's pretty sweet, I liked it. I mean, I'm sure everyone can agree, that was a good ending, a good closure. Because, I see some singers on YouTube or Instagram, and after they're singing, they just reach for the camera, or they end it. And it's like, I get it, it's the end. But you gotta put some closure on it, right? Like this is sort of like how I describe it. I want you to think of a doorway. When people close a door, you close it fully so that the lock sinks into the hole. That's what you did. You sang, you performed, but when you did that closing gesture, I was like, it's like he closed the door fully. He closed the book. He closed the chapter. He ended it, and he showed you, hey, I just performed this, but me showing you that my performance is over, it's like I delivered. I'm done. I did my duty. And that was what got to me the most. I was like, okay, that's pretty tight, man. Just other singers would be just like, just turn off the camera or just would stop. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just dull. So for you, performance 10 out of 10. Very impressed. 8, outfit and physical presentation. I dig the outfit, pretty good. I like the background and everything. Again, nothing distracting. Physical presentation, I almost gave it a 9, 9.5, but I gave it an 8 because at times, I think if I recall correctly, I saw where you put your hand in your pockets, or maybe you sort of like shrugged a little, or too close to the mic. I want you to perform. Be broad. Show your chest. No hands in pockets. No hands behind your back. Perform. Show me what you're trying to sing. I want to be engulfed in the song as if it's a story. You know what I mean? I don't think I have to explain too much. I think you know the gist, but physical presentation, just be more broad. So 8 out of 10, good job. And lastly for Kilig, which is now a 17 out of 20, as I adjusted the scores. 17 out of 20 because the big factor again was the closing scene where, you hug yourself like, man, that is so good, Very sweet, very sweet. So overall, yeah, man, I would, let me adjust the total score now that the ending was out of 20. So for Mark, you got a final score of 72.
All right, that's a fair score for.
We missed the intonation. What was the score for intonation?
6 out of 10.
Very educational. I feel like I want to practice now. Practice more. I'm learning a lot
he's
too.
He's a sound producer, so
yeah,
he's a producer.
sensitive ears.
Yeah,
and he knows what a performance should
we're
be.
all learning also. So.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Now, Karim also sings very good.
Thanks
and I was telling her that,
yeah. Thanks for the tips. Now I know. Because once in a while I listen to the songs that I did. It's like, it doesn't sound good to me. That's how I say it sometimes. So I change it. But I'm not that good in ears, like,
Right.
But at least now I'm getting some tips from you. Thanks.
And I've been telling the audience or everybody that even the best singer still goes for voice lessons. It never stops, right? So
it's a consistency factor.
Yes.
Okay.
Once you stop, you lose that voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt. Let's move on to the last one.
The last and not the least, Caris.
Caris.
All right, Caris. Here we go. So, again, some of this may not be what you want to hear, but I just want to help you improve. So first, with the good part is your tone quality. I did give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, it wasn't perfect. I'll give you that. But your voice sort of, because of how low, well, I mean, that's how I perceived it. Your voice was sort of like low and calm. It gave me a very Frank Sinatra vibe. Maybe you're familiar with him. But, I'm a big fan of old 70s singers, male singers, Frank Sinatra, you name it. And for some reason, you had a little bit of him in your voice. So I'll give that to you. I was listening, I was like, oh, if I see this guy do like Frank Sinatra type stuff, he's there. He's there. So that's why I gave you an 8 out of 10. I like the tone. My favorite tone. But it wasn't perfect because I'll go more into it further along. But your tone just wasn't, again, the consistency. One solid bar has to be as smooth as milk, And with your voice, though it was there and you did deliver, I heard pauses. I heard a little bit of tempo issues. Sometimes the pitch wasn't where it needed to be, but the tone of your voice was still there. So that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Breath support, 6 out of 10. This is coming from someone who has seen singers who struggled a bit with breath support. 6 out of 10, because though your voice was there, I felt like you weren't giving that expanding feeling. You weren't throwing it in my face. Like what I said with the other contestant earlier, you guys have good voices, but it's like you're afraid to just throw it out there. I get it, you don't want to be too loud for the mic, and maybe you were a little self-conscious, but you guys can't hold back, you know what I mean? There's a difference between someone who just wants their voice to, to cut through and be out there, and there's a difference with someone who has a good voice, but they're kind of shielding its full potential off, So, breath support, a 6. Intonation, a 5. I gave it an average score of 5 out of 10 because though you could sing the notes, some were just not the right pitch, Again, you have to understand, I listened to the original recording, Dr. Claudio's recording, many times because I wanted to be familiar with the pitch of each vocal note. With you, some parts, it felt like you were just trying to grab on to the right pitch, but you just couldn't get right on it. And to me, I was just like, oh, he can sing, but can he really say that the performance is good if he's not even close to the pitch? So for intonation, that's why I gave you a 5 out of 10, because that's something you need to work on, man. And again, I'm coming to this from a place of love. No hard feelings, but the pitch has to improve. If I was to record with you one day, I'd probably be big on, hey, listen, this is the note you have to sing. You're not even there yet. You're getting close, but you're just not on the line. You have to stay on the line. Suitable volume, 6. I gave it a 6 for the same reason with your intonation score. Suitable volume is a 6, mainly because I felt that you did not sing at a level that made the song yours. It felt like it just felt like you were just an addition to the song, not a part of the song. Because a good vocalist is a part of the song. A good vocalist is the song. But a mediocre, sort of there vocalist is someone where if they were to add just their vocals on top of an instrumental, you'd pay more attention to the instrumental and the voice would sort of be like a distraction, and you'd be like, was this really what the lead vocal was supposed to be? Why is the music more appealing to me? Why do I catch on and give more attention to the music? Shouldn't it be the opposite? Shouldn't I be listening to the vocalist first? Because at the end of the day, music is supposed to be supporting you, not the other way around. So that's why when I used to work with singers who were just so afraid of giving me good volume, and they'd be like, oh, but the instrumental is too good. I don't want to ruin it. No, I told them, look, don't even think about the instrumental. That's not the main part of the song. You are. So if you can give me a good volume, the music will adjust itself. You are the main character in the story, not the background characters. So if you, the vocalist, is the main character, and all the instrumental parts are like the quote-unquote background characters, you gotta be the main star, not them. Though music and vocals should be at an equal volume to complement each other, at the end of the day, I clicked on the song to listen to you. So, there you go. That is why suitable volume, 6 out of 10. It has to be higher, man. It really does. I felt more interested to listen to the background music versus your vocals, so it has to be louder. Diction and articulation, 7 out of 10. So, a little higher, which is good. But for your own growth, I suggest that like the others, I felt like the way you pronounce things were a little too hard. When I mean hard, like when I hear Filipinos or other um, foreigners from like different countries, and the way they speak or sing, I understand you are from a foreign country, but the way you pronounce things in the song should sort of be at a universal level. So when I say universal, like let's take for example, I know people know Sarah Geronimo, or people know Sharon Caneta, right? Though they are Filipinos, the way they sing, or let's take Gary Valenciano for example. If you hear some of his songs where he's singing in English, sometimes I can't even tell that's a Filipino singing it. He is Filipino, but he adapted the way he sings phrases in a way that makes you say, it sounds like this guy is an American singer, or this guy was trained well, or this guy has a golden voice. You can't tell where he's from, you know. And with you, though you can sing, I just felt the way you pronounced words were a little too harsh. So, again, the way you pronounce words just needs to be worked on. It's there. But take time to have a flow equation in the way you sing these phrases, and you will be there. And again, send me a question if you want me to go further into this. I can obviously get on a call with you and we can talk more about your voice. But you know, that's pretty much my honest assessment when it came to diction and articulation. Rhythm and tempo, 5. So before I go on, 5, because there were clearly instances you were super behind or super early, man. And I'm not talking about super behind as in like a big delay in the song, but in music, there's always the attack. Like when you come in or when you don't sing, like the attack, the downbeat of things. It has to be like this. If perfect tempo looks like this, up and down, no rushing, no delaying, it's just on the dot. You started going too fast and you went slow, and then you got consistent again and a little too fast. Like I tried so hard to listen in, and I felt like, you know, the tempo factor is there. The tempo factor is, again, what I told all the other contestants. You please stay on tempo, because if me, the listener, I don't want to listen to a song, and if the singer is too fast, I don't want to be like, oh, it makes me a little anxious. Like, well, you know, is the song supposed to be fast or slow? If a singer is too offbeat and behind, immediately I think, okay, it sounds like he's just trying to catch up and he's having a hard time. It kind of takes away from the song. So, you know, I don't have much to say about tempo other than it has to be on the dot, man. Remember that consistent up and down, upbeat, downbeat metronome. Can't be fast, can't be too slow. Don't wave in and out. Stay on it. Lock in. Performance. This is the lowest rating in your score sheet. 4 out of 10. Now hear me out. Yes, you did have the voice. Yes, you did your best to deliver. But part of me felt like, I don't know, you seemed too relaxed. And I think that's fine. It shows you're in control of yourself. And it shows that, you know, you're not afraid. But maybe if you, a little bit of dance moves here and there, or I don't know, something that would make the audience smile. Because it felt like you were just sitting there in the mic smiling, just like, singing, you know, it felt like I was just watching someone record vocals in the studio. Because, you know, when you're a singer, at the end of the day, you're a performer. You're not a singer to record in the studio. Yes, you record in the studio to record your songs and your vocals, but that is not why you are a singer. You are a singer to perform. I, as a producer, if I see you just standing there and singing into the mic in my studio, I'll let it slide because I know you're just focusing on recording your vocals. But if I end up seeing you perform live and I just see you just standing there on the mic, you know, it's like, you're a performer, man. You're on the stage. You're not in the studio, you know. It's you delivering to the audience. You have to perform, man, because I won't lie, when I watched that, I was like, I like his voice, but is the performance there? Performance makes everything. I got a little bored. I was just watching and I'm like, you know, he could just insert something here and there to make him more spicy, more flashy. It'll make the audience say, dang, okay, not only is he in control of himself, he knows how to, you know, add spark here and there. But you just seem too calm, too controlled. So overall, you know, with the performance, yes, I know it's low. You have to forgive me, but I wasn't feeling it, man. It has to be there. Outfit and physical presentation and your posture, 6 out of 10. Again, that ties in with the performance factor. I wanted you to have a broad chest. Don't be afraid. Throw your voice at me. Don't shy behind the camera. The camera or the mic. It's not there to protect you. It's you. At the end of the day, it's you making an impact on whoever's listening or watching to you. And lastly, do not. I want you to. Your physical, your posture. Like I said earlier, you know how you were too relaxed. Me as a just spectator, I'm just gonna think like, does he think he's just at home singing, or is he gonna perform? Is he gonna show the public or whoever's watching that, hey, listen, I have something to show you. I have something to prove. So with you, yes, you did sing, but the physical appearance, man, I was just, you know, I wasn't too sure if you were excited or you were forced. You know, I hate being a little negative, but this is only for you to grow, man. I mean, that's the biggest part. The way you look, the way you present yourself. If you don't have that, then, you know, your voice is nothing. So, lastly, for Kiwig, 16 out of 20, which is fair. You did try. You did do your best to show the audience what you had in store, but I know it wasn't your best. I can tell when someone gives me their best. And so that just goes back to you showing me that what I saw in that video is not really you. I know it's in you. You got it. You can reach it, but somewhere, somehow in the video, I just felt like that wasn't your best shot. And you know, me personally, I like giving singers many chances, and I do want to see you improve. Because, like I said earlier, everyone tonight was good, but just those little inconsistencies and those micro mistakes, micro details is what I look for. That separates a good singer from a great singer. So, 16 out of 20 on Key League. And with that, let me update the score for you. So,
Matt, can you say the volume again, the score for the volume? We just missed that.
volume is a 6 out of 10.
Okay, thank you.
6, okay.
All right. So, for Carice, his updated score was a 63.
63.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Matt. That was a lot of work you did.
Yeah.
And we were dreaming that you were also scoring us. So
So
we know
very
how
detailed. You know,
how we do.
you're scaring us that.
Yeah, I'm scared to go up the stage now and you score me. But I would love to, like one day, I want you to be there and just score me up when I'm on the stage. I will learn a lot from you.
Me giving all this advice is for people to understand that, at the end of the day, though we are learning, you have to give things your best. Because, if you're going to put yourself out there, you can't give me you can't give me a product of yourself that's just you. It has to be more than you. If you look at all the good singers that made it out there, they went above and beyond to make sure that they were heard and they improved.
Yeah, this is very helpful for them because the purpose of this contest is to stimulate their talents, and it's very successful because these people started they improved a lot already. These are finalists already.
Yes.
They have joined before. After this male division, the girls division will come
actually,
next.
this is a good chance for the
girls will be listening
the ladies,
to your.
Yeah, they're watching right now, and so they have the
these
idea.
lessons.
But then with your advices and your tips.
It's like a free voice lessons,
Yeah.
voice coaching. Thank you so much, Matt. I
right.
owe you a lot.
I appreciate that.
But I will
Thank you again for having me.
Thank you. How will you score my I Will Survive? You saw my I Will Survive.
Come on.
I survived that.
Honestly speaking, I don't know.
But as Natasha said, it is so hard to sing and dance at the same time, right? Give me credit for that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
Breath support.
I did that before.
at the
It's
end of
really
the
hard.
day, at the end of the day, we all learn from,
Yes.
Master Dr. Claudio.
There we go.
Thank you so much,
All right,
Matt.
Matt,
Thank
you.
you.
Keep in touch
Goodbye.
after this. Okay?
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
We'll be tabulating.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Matt.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, that's Matt. Velasco.
Grabe. Ang gagaling ng judges natin. Grabe. Pati ako natuto sobra.
I-explain mo kung paano ang pag-tabulate.
So, I think if you were listening, you know the scores now and you know who won because we
Mahaba
will
kasi.
just average. But it is very not only entertaining.
Tagalogin muna. Wala na.
O nga pala, no?
Na-carried away.
Nalilimutan ko.
Baka
You
mama
know what?
mag-nosebleed na naman eh.
Kahit sa pasyente, like, puti, tapos paglipat ko sa Pilipino, English ako na English. Kasi
Hindi,
parang mode yan eh.
Basahin natin yung score ng bawat
Spoken in
isa.
Tagalog na pala.
Basahin natin yung score.
Dugo ko English.
Basahin natin yung score ng bawat judge sa per
Yeah, this is
contestant.
easy na to. Tabulated na.
So,
Teka.
And then how do you
wanna-
do it?
Yeah, pwede pa tayo. Sige.
Kumanta ka muna.
Ba't ako?
Ako.
Tatabulate ko.
Ah,
Baka tayo magkamali, tayo'y papatayin ng totoo na yung jug mo galing sa
Nakatayin
audience.
ko.
hindi, akala ko ba si Esperanza?
Oo
Ah,
nga.
sige,
Okay,
on mo yan.
Sige,
Ito ba? Nilagay mo na?
sasabay natin. Oh.
Sige.
Ayan na, naka-ready na. Go.
Ready na?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yung
Okay.
contest piece. Okay.
Okay, play na natin to.
Oh, sabayan kita.
So, habang tinatabulate yung score, so kakanta
Ayan
muna
na, tabulated na.
Sino? Si
Simple.
Doc Ikaw ba?
But you know what? Alam na rin nila yung score kung nakikinig sila.
Hindi,
Ito.
pero
Sige.
the way how you do it.
Okay, as a composer, I'm not really a singer, no. But I do go for voice lessons, kaya nga nakaka-judge din ako sa inyo. But I don't have the timbre and the power.
Okay.
Yon. Pero at least the expression, and I own the song.
Okay.
Talagang when I sing it, I own it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Doc Espie and Could Have Been.
Tatanggalin mo?
Oo, hindi ko matanggal.
Ayun.
Hindi ako makakanta ng
Ganun. Okay.
Bulol. Bohol. Could have been. Actually, hindi ako serious. Medyo napapasayaw ako. Could have been if I could just have told you you're my queen in a world you never knew that I have dreamed since in your heart said goodbye instead. Take it away, Karim. Lola Karim, coming up next. Woo. Mic please, mic please. I kept it as a secret. You didn't know that love exists. You never knew I'm longing for your kiss. And after years of waiting, I finally found my wish come true. You asked me why I'm always there for you. Shaking, trembling, mumbling words of I love you. Then I felt myself freezing, found myself, my heart beating, when I heard you say that you love me too. Metronome daw. Tak, 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 tak. Thank you, Matt, for those very good coaching, voice coaching. It could have been power pala dapat sa part na to. If I have started long before, we'd know and even wonder that we are meant for one another. If only love was never left unsaid. If only love was never left unsaid. Thank you. Thank you for interpreting my song, okay? Thank you sa lahat na sumali. Grabe. I'm so deeply honored to hear my songs sa inyo and to be interpreted. And so, the most awaited.
Can you tell them
Tagalogin
how you
yan.
tabulated?
Ay, Tagalog na pala. Ang hirap tanggalin sa dugo.
Oo nga. Can you tell
Tagalog
them
na
how
pala.
you tabulated the
Yeah, so,
score?
do you know the winner na? Meron bang
Meron na, may
nag-average?
Nagbilang.
O, sige nga, sabihin nyo kung sino nanalo. I would like to hear it from
Alam
you.
na nila siguro kung sino
Alam nyo na
nanalo.
kung sino nangyari. Nanalo, di ba? Hindi na namin kailangan sabihin.
Pero lahat sila magagaling.
Mahusay.
Ay, of course.
They're all
Hindi.
winners.
Lahat magagaling, of
Sa
course.
ating tatlo, magbigay tayo ng yung ating kanya-kanyang judgment sa apat na ito.
Yeah, magaling lahat, of course. And
But syempre, meron tayong talagang
Mahirap yan.
kaya alam mo nung
May judges.
kaya alam mo nung I didn't want to influence them. I did not talk to them. Kahit kay Matt, kay Natasha, hindi ko kinausap or nagbigay ng opinion. So, and the two of them, they don't know each other. They didn't connect. So, etong judgment scores na to is really coming from unbiased talaga. So, pati kami nagulat sa nanalo.
Wala kaming
Wala akong kinalaman dyan, ha?
Meron tayong kanya-kanyang bet.
Yeah, but these are
Pero sikreto namin sa amin to.
These are professional people na talaga mas sensitive ang ears sa
Si Matt is a sound producer.
and siya yung talagang ng total performance pati tono
Si
and song.
Natasha naman is also a performer.
A professional singer.
Singer and dancer.
Imagine to be performing worldwide.
Wow.
Talaga. If you can Google Natasha Slayton, marami silang videos with GRL band.
Kaya
And
legit.
talagang bilib ako dito sa band nila. And sa kanya, she's starting to go solo. So, tangkilikin nyo. You can go YouTube and kahit sa Spotify, nandun yung mga songs niya.
Kaya yung mga girls, dalawa pa lang ang
nga pala, we'll talk about the next.
Nag-register sa akin.
Let's talk about the next division, the
Ladies division.
ladies
Yes.
division. So
Please register
we'll give you
now.
a week.
I only have 2.
We'll give deadline to kasi natatakot pa sila eh. We give 2 weeks for them kasi yung iba
2
hindi
weeks.
tuned in, hindi nila alam na
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Dalawa pa lang ang sa akin, nag-register.
Sino?
Si Rose saka si Gian nung 6:23.
So, we're still waiting for the other finalists to register.
10,000 pesos yan.
At saka ang hirap kasi minsan pag we'll give you a deadline to register kasi pag nag-submit kayo at tapos na yung deadline, we're not gonna accept. Katulad ng nangyari sa male division, may nag-submit.
May question ako. So yung men's at saka yung men at saka ladies division, maglalaban sila? Ganun ba?
Pag nanalo sa ladies division, silang dalawa naman kaya madadagdagan yung panalo
so,
nitong nanalo.
So ano kanta paglalabanan nila? Same thing?
Hindi, syempre. Pambabae naman yung
Okay. So, abangan na lang natin susunod.
Yeah, we'll give you, pag deadline na ng registration, then we'll give the song.
Okay.
Ibig sabihin, after we give the song, wala nang tatanggapin na ano.
Okay, batiin ko muna. Bumati naman tayo sa iba.
Okay.
We have Ka Freddy San Juan.
Yes.
Lois Adatu. Okay. Rachel Torres para Alejandro, para Cristobal, Evelyn Macareg, Emery Anumrat, and of course to my dear cousin Imelda Abalos. Ayan.
Ako, para ingat naman.
Sorry.
Because,
Okay.
Nahulaan na nila. Nagko-congrats na ang mga
ibibigay
tao.
mo na yung score.
Ganun.
Kaya nga. So,
pinakamataas na
let's
score, ay.
tabulate natin.
Tabulate.
For an average of score for Darwin. Nandiyan pa si Darwin? Di ko nakita.
Nandyan siya.
Hi, Darwin.
Ano ang average score niya?
82 for Darwin. Yeah. And the score for Norman, 84.5. Mark, 73.5. Cariz, 60.5 And the winner is... Dandararan! Congrats! Grabe talaga.
Ayan, alam na nila.
Pag ginawa talaga, kumpare ko sineswerte pag kumpare ko Okay, kayo na magsabi. Sabay-sabay tayo. And the winner is... Norman! Woo! Congrats! Ang galing. Pinabilib mo kami sa iyong pag-organ. Play and sing.
Yeah.
And still catching the pitch.
Norman, congratulations.
10,000
Congratulations. At madadagdagan pa yan pag na-outbeat niya yung mga babae.
Yung sa babae.
Wow. Dapat tawagan natin si Pastor kung kung speech from the winner. Pastor, nandiyan ka ba?
Dapat siya magsasalita ngayon, kailan naubusan na ng oras.
Siguro, tawagan pa ba natin?
Sandali lang.
Ay, siya ba talaga pagpapalit niya to, biro mo, nanalo. Grabe.
Okay. Sige.
Pastor Norman, andiyan ka ba? Galing-galing talaga ni Pastor. Bagay kami. Kumanta.
Gano'n.
Dream ko lang makaduet si Pastor.
Wala na. Baka nagpe-pray pa siya.
Pastor, hindi niya yata narinig na nanalo siya.
Hindi yata. Ayan na.
Pastor!
Congratulations!
Congratulations! Grabe!
Hello po.
Wala akong masabi.
Hello?
Congrats! Speech naman dyan, speech.
Actually, nagtatype pa lang po ako ng Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat. Una sa lahat, purihin po ang Diyos. Sa Kanya po ang glory. Actually, kanina pa ako kinakabahan habang pinapakinggan yung mga comment ng mga judges natin. Sobrang galing po nila. Sobrang galing po nilang mga mag-comment. Ang gaganda po ng mga advices nila. Talaga, ang dami ko rin pong natutunan.
Kahit hindi yung sa'yo lang, pati yung comment nila sa iba, natututo tayong lahat.
Opo.
Lalo na yung mga babae, dapat review nyo yan, ha? Mm-hmm. Pastor, ba't naka-green screen ka? Alam bang mangyayari sa iyo dahil naka-green screen ka?
Ano po?
Magiging magkatabi tayo sa Paris. Kayang-kaya kong gawin yan.
May binabalak na naman ito.
May binabalak ako sa iyo. Pastor, dream ko lang mag-duet tayo.
Sure po. Very privilege po para sa akin yun. Malaking privilege po sa akin yun.
Pwede nilang i-mixing yun katulad yung ginagawa nila sa band.
Oo nga, diba? Paano nyo ginawa yun? Zoom? yung ano,
Alam.
yung pag sabay-sabay yung banda nyo, nagpe-play na nasa iba-ibang bansa kayo.
Zoom yun, Zoom.
Zoom yun?
Hindi po. Meron po kaming editor. Siya po yung nagsama-sama ng video.
Paano, anong app yun? Or anong...
Hindi, pinagsama-sama.
Ako po, cellphone lang po ginamit ko eh. And then, sinend ko lang yung video na may
Basta
kasamang audio.
ano lang.
Mixing.
Okay. Galing. Mixing lang.
Ganyan lang po.
De,
Magaling po yung ano namin, yung...
Mix din tayo, ha?
Apo.
Napilitan siya, apa. Napilitan si Pastor, apa. Wag niyong pilitin, Pastor. Labag sa kalooban.
Pag-pray na lang ito.
Pag-pray mo muna yan, Pastor.
Oo naman eh.
Joke lang.
Mixing, ibig sabihin, mixing niya ng kanta.
Oo, mix natin kanta.
Alright.
Kamusta na si Mare?
Wala doon.
Ano po, wala po siya ngayon dito. Nasa school po siya nagpapabakuna. Vaccine, schedule po niya ngayon.
Buti naman.
Apo.
Anong buti naman?
Ay, buti nga, wala siya. Ay, stay on, buti may vaccine siya. Ikaw naman nalilito ako eh. Thank you, Pastor, sa pagsali.
Congratulations. Salamat po sa lahat ng mga paabot ng kanilang pagbati. Salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Magpa-burger ka na daw, Pastor.
Pastor, pa-pray naman tayo sa buong nangyaring to and sa mga...
Sure po. Sige po. Sige po, manalangin po tayo. Hallelujah. Dakilang Diyos, Ama naming banal. Maraming pong salamat sa araw na ito. Tunay po na naging napaka ganda, Panginoon, ng oras na ito para sa bawat isa. And salamat, Lord, sa mga natutunan po namin. Ako, personally, marami po talaga akong pinagpapasalamat sa inyo, Panginoon. Because of this contest, Lord God, marami po akong pwedeng mai-apply sa akin pong personal na mga ginagawa, especially sa pag-cover at paggawa ng music, Panginoon. Lord, salamat po sa buhay ni Doc Espie. Salamat po sa kanya pong passion sa music na kanya pong ibinabahagi sa aming lahat. At ramdam po namin, Panginoon, yung talagang pagmamahal niya sa musika. And dahil po doon, Panginoon, ganun din po kami, yung kakaroon kami ng eagerness pa, Panginoon, na mag-excel, na gawin yung best po namin. And salamat din, Lord, kina Brother Ramon, Sister Karim, sa programang iRadio, Lord God. Dalangin po namin ang patuloy mong pagpapala sa programang ito, Panginoon. At higit sa lahat, Lord, yung pong pangalan mo ay mapapurihan, mag-glorify sa lahat po sa buhay namin. At sa programang ito, mas marami pa pong mga tao ang ma-reach out, Panginoon. And salamat po sa lahat ng listeners, viewers ngayon, Lord. Bless mo po sila, sampu ng kanilang pamilya, yung mga judges namin, Lord. Salamat po kay Matt and Natasha, Lord God. Also bless them, Lord, sa lahat po ng kanilang ginagawa. At sila po ay magpatuloy na maging successful, Lord God, sa career nila, Panginoon. Salamat po ng marami. Nawa, nag-glorify ka po namin, naitaas ka po namin, Panginoon. Ito po ang aking panalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus.
Amen. Thank you po, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor. And
Thank you po. Thank you very much.
congratulations again.
Congratulations.
Salamat po. Salamat po.
Alright. Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you po, bye-bye.
Alright, Pastor Norman, Cuanang, congratulations.
Congrats.
Grabe.
Grabe. Sobrang saya ng gabing to.
Alam mo.
Napapa-thank you, Lord, ako sa lahat ng mga...
So, kailan yung sa mga babae naman pala?
2 weeks pa, di ba?
No, start.
We're waiting for the registration ng mga finalists.
Dalawa pa lang nagre-register.
Hindi, kasi nag-iipon pa sila ng lakas ng loob. Tsaka iba naglalaba pa, so wala pang time mag-register.
Okay.
Baka
so we'll give 2 weeks. Anong date yon? July something, no?
Today is 28, 29 na dun sa kanila. Start tayo ng July 1st. July 1st tayo mag-start.
Doon sa mga nasabi ng mga judges, doon kayo nakakuha ng tip na...
Grabe sa galing ang kanilang...
Hindi lang pala kumakanta. Watch out with yung pronunciation nyo, yung power, especially si Mark. Dito siya nadali yung problem niya, yung kulang sa power at saka yung mag-ama.
May mga potential
may potential sila.
Everyone.
Pero sabi naman ni Matt tungkol kay Mark, gusto niya maging sila yung counterpart sa mag-join silang dalawa. Kung if there's a possibility o may chances silang dalawa na mag Alright, nako.
So July 12 natin lagay yung last day ng registration and then we'll give out the song.
Bueno, tayo magpapaalam
Okay.
na. Oo. And congratulations again, Pastor
And thank you sa lahat na sumali. Napakagaling po ng lahat. And
ano ba yun, yung isa? Yung pangalawa, ang pangalan nito si
Saan?
yung
Matthew?
Hindi, yung kumanta, yung pangalawa si
Di si Pastor Norman.
Hindi.
Sino?
Darwin Ibay. Oo.
Siya ang unang kumanta.
Siya ba yung una?
Uh-huh.
Oo. Congratulations sa lahat ng mga sumali. And
everybody
was good.
Darwin,
Pero,
kay Mac,
naman.
and kay Caris, all good. Talagang,
yeah, of course.
Siyempre, kinakailangan isa lang talaga ang dapat
mananalo.
And let's be sport. And in the future, pwede pa natin itong baguhin itong ating programa. Ma-improve pa natin kasi first time po natin nagkaroon ng ganitong contest. And we need somebody na talagang bihasa yun sa... wala kailangan natin talaga ng director na mag-arrange ng ating programa. So ito yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. Actually, pasensya na po kayo, mahaba yung judgment ng mga...
Pero very informative and educative.
Hindi kasi natin na sila nabigyan ng sabihan na medyo bilisan ng konti yung kanilang kaya naubos yung most of ang oras natin.
Pero eksakto lang naman natapos tayong 9:30.
Okay. Okay, tama naman.
But anyway, nag-end result naman ng maganda.
Okay, remember July 12
last
and
day
last
for
day
registration.
ng registration. July 12 dito.
We'll give out
dito
the
sa Amerika
songs.
po. Bali July 13 dyan sa inyo. Bali tama nga ba? July 12, yan.
Congratulate buong Cristobal family.
Siyempre, nagbubunya.
Grabe. Oo. And then, sana, pagka natalo pa niya ang girls, nako, doble ang panalo niya.
Kaya nga sabi ko yung kung makikita natin
wala.
posters.
Kaya ayokong ako mag-judge kasi pag nanalo si Pastor Norman, baka akala
siguro iba uli. Makahanap kayo tayo na ibang judge uli. Kasi nag-judge na siya dito kay Iba naman.
Yeah, of course.
Sa mga babae.
At saka hindi pwede si Natasha kasi Tagalog. Baka Tagalog yung next song.
Okay. Siguro ibang judge naman sila. Ano po natin.
Okay,
baka
Matthew Veloz is watching. Ayan.
Alright.
They should all be proud of themselves.
Hi, Matthew. Thank you so much talaga.
For gentlemen prove that they had the potentials to deliver.
Panoodin niyo uli yung yung mga paano kayo ginudge ng mga hurado, no?
Yeah, I'm sure the girls will be watching, reviewing this section.
I-reviewin niyo uli yun para sa ganun makakakuha kayo ng tip kung saan kayo nagkamali at sa mga kababaihan naman ay makakuha sila ng tips kung paano nila gagawin yung performance nila na mas mahusay pa. Alright? Thank you so much. Hanggang sa bukas po muli. Ito po ang iRadio and nawa po ay nag-enjoy ang lahat sa ating programa. Ako po si Ramon Pascua.
Karim Pascua.
Kabit ni Ramon. Ay hindi pala. SP ko na. Namimilito na ako.
Umayos ka.
SP Pascua? Hindi.
Claudio.
SP Veloso. Ay, bata pa pala. Matt, hindi. Anak lang kita. SP Claudio. Ayun. Yun ako. Thank you so much. See you again next week.
And God bless po sa inyong lahat. Bye-bye po.
Thanks, Matt, again.
Thank you, Matthew.
Bye-bye.
Ikaw ba ay mayroong mga problema? Madalas malungkot kapag nag-iisa. May alam akong sa'yo ay magpapasaya, at siguradong lungkot may mapapawi nila. Salita ng Diyos binabahagi nila upang tayo ay mapalapit sa Kanya. Kaya naman halika na at manood na sa iRadio at tiyak ikaw ay liligaya. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito. iRadio, ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, at tiyak problema ay malilimutan mo. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito, iRadio. Ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo, hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako. Sa iRadio, mga host ay nakakamangha, talagang full charge, hindi nakakasawa. Mga blessings ay binabahagi nila, kaya si Lord talagang pinagpapala sila. Dito ay talagang talented ang lahat, mapakanta o sayaw, hindi nagpapaawa. Kaya't halika na sa iRadio, tumutok ka na, upang ang araw mo ay maging masaya. iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito, iRadio. Ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo, hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado. At tiyak problema ay malilimutan mo, iRadio. I'm sure sasaya ka dito, iRadio. Ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo, hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako.
Sa iRadio, marami kang matututunan. Salita ng Diyos tiyak mong malalaman. Mula sa mga pastor na nagpapugian. Pasusani na pwede mong lapitan. Pastor James na talagang maaasahan. Pastor Franz, Pastor Levi at Pastor Norman. 3 brothers na talagang pangmalakasan. Marami pang iba pero ngayon sila'y pagbigyan. Mga host, aba hindi magpapakabo. Brother Ramon ang nag-iisang machong host. Siyempre si Lola Sweetie na lagi pwede. Isa man na ang tawa niyang nakaka-energy. Meron pa, Doc Espie na very bright. Balitaktakan niya talagang mapapa-alright. Lahat yan, dito lamang matatagpuan, kaya wala nang iba pang dapat puntahan.
iRadio, I'm sure sasaya ka dito, iRadio. Ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo, hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado. At tiyak problema ay malilimutan mo, iRadio. I'm sure sasaya ka dito, iRadio. Ang pagpapala ay lalapit sa'yo, hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako. Hindi ka magsisisi, yan ang sigurado, pangako.
Ito po ang iRadio. Naglilingkod para sa sambayanang Pilipino.